on January 6th. You're in control of the FBI now. So what did you do to all of these instigating FBI officers? You were in control of them then, you're in control of them now. What is your follow up? And he hasn't done anything, and they're just running with that.
Exactly. The same people, the same time he's saying that Pelosi didn't do what she was supposed to, is saying that his own FBI was in the crowd, but somehow the crowd was the FBI was. They're like, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, I can't even put together how he's twisted the whole narrative. So yes, I do believe that somebody should come out and make what would essentially be a documentary. They might call it a movie, but I'm sure they're going to actually use actual people, actual press releases, actual film.
Oh yeah, it's going to definitely be. I mean, there's so many hours of footage of them breaking into the Capitol building and climbing walls and beating cops and taking down a U.S. flag. There's enough footage to easily make a movie with a. You throw in some commentary from some of the Capitol Police officers, and there's way more than enough for a feature film length production.
Yeah, and he's got some more. He's got some more information that just keeps coming out in dribbles because Trump keeps talking about it, and so they're just gonna have so much material to work with.
So let me get to the meat and potatoes of the entire live. Now the war is over, says President Trump. I mean, that's what they're saying. The war. I hear you chuckling already, so we know where this is going. But let me ask you. He's saying the war is. What are you suggesting? You don't believe it's going to be over?
I just have a hard time with the wording of just about everything he says because when he goes to Congress and when they go to courts, they say it's not a war. So him saying whether the war is over or not, like it's just a matter of semantics. What I can tell you though is that the war is not over from the perspective of the people who had us start the war. It ain't over for Israel. They said they going full steam ahead.
Do you really believe Israel? Because listen, if there's one thing we know about President Trump, he is unpredictable. Do you believe, and he'll do some wild shit that has never been done by any other president. If Trump is already threatening that we will not continue backing Israel if they become a wild card, do you think they would still do that? Knowing, listen, Trump really will take his hands off of Israel. And if there's one thing we can say about him, if that man says if you don't, because we know he loves to punish people that go against his wishes. He'll punish Netanyahu just like Mike Pence and all the others. If Netanyahu continues fighting when Trump wants this shit to be over with, Israel goes alone. Do you think Israel is willing to continue fighting without the bidding and blessing of the United States?
Yes. I
Really?
I believe through the history of that country and their perception of the United States that they believe that they are on a spiritual battle and that America is just a proxy for God. Like that's just a tool. America's a tool they use to achieve what they said is in the Bible, which they want to take over Syria, they want to take over Lebanon, they want to take over parts of Egypt, they want to take over the Suez Canal. Like they have a bomb now. They have nuclear bombs.
They gonna keep fucking fighting for God, and they gonna end up meeting them. If the United States separates from Israel, you can keep fighting for God. You about to meet that mother. Look, I don't see that. You really believe that?
Have you heard Netanyahu in the last couple of months talking about he wants to sever financial ties with America on TV?
So what is he trying to do? Shame Trump?
Listen, I don't know what somebody with a biblical mindset. They don't believe like. Did you see the opposition leader? I think his name is Ben Gvir or something like that over there in Israel. He just made a statement. He said, "We love Trump, but Trump is wrong. We will keep on defending ourselves, and we would not be played as I think he's
but listen,
a contractor to a superpower."
You know, to me, that sounds like Trump saying a whole civilization will die. Listen, to some degree, some of these folks have to take a strong stance on the world stage and for their people, even though they may not mean it. I just do not imagine Israel. If Trump is saying, if you don't quit, we're going to announce to the world that we no longer are backing your ass. They can say all of this stuff on the world stage. I don't believe they continue. They just might be putting up a tough front, like Trump continued putting up a tough front to the point where the world knew he was lying. I mean, it became obvious the world knew you're not putting boots on the ground, and a lot of this shit you're threatening to do is not going to happen.
Well, I'll give you something to mull over real quick.
Sure.
We all know that Mossad is the most advanced security agency in the world.
True.
We know that the last anybody who has threatened that relationship with America has gotten the pew pew to the dome. You believe that Mossad would let Trump walk away from them and let his kids run all over the world?
Whoa!
And they just be okay with it? It's not gonna happen.
Whoa! You going into the land of Q. We say our comments go left of Mamdani till I'm having dinner with Q. You about to have some dinner. Now you're telling me that if Trump takes his hands off of Israel and says we're no longer defending Israel or standing with Israel because of the actions of Netanyahu, they might send the Mossad or members of his family? You're gonna get me banned. Really? You think that might happen?
Wait a minute. You do understand what they did to the Cole Kennedy family, right?
You gotta explain that.
You do understand. Well, I don't have to tell you nothing except for we've seen it one day in Dallas, on the streets. That was the only president who ever said, we're not going to be funding and doing everything that you say.
Yeah, but I can't.
He was gone soon after that.
Man, you deep over there in the conspiracy. I mean, the Mossad with the Kennedys and all this. I've never heard that, by the way.
I just asked you a question about the Mossad.
Yeah.
How deep they are. And
I agree. How
they get rid of people using dang on walkie-talkies and planes.
The explosive beepers. Yeah, the explosive beepers. I'm not disagreeing with you. I seen the movie Munich. I know what they did in regards to chasing down, aging Nazis and shit. The Mossad is very effective. But to use them on a former, right now he's a current, but even if he's a former president, you're talking about the Trump family, Trump Inc., being pissed off with Trump for not continuing to back them to the point where they use the Mossad. Whoa!
You're talking about, if they believe that America's defense is essential to their existence, it's not, you just saying if they get upset with them. That's not what they're talking about. They, just like you said, if Trump backs away from them, their existence would be threatened. Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, but that ain't no reason to take the man out. I mean, listen.
What do you mean? It's not a reason.
No, let me explain. We're not threatening to take the side of the enemy. We're just saying we're not gonna be in it on your side no more.
Okay. Well, what did they do? What did they do to the USS Liberty? I know a lot of people don't know about that. We could go down the rabbit hole.
We already in that motherfucker. You talking about Trump?
I'm telling you about stuff on the surface. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the relationship between America and Israel that a lot of people don't know. We're talking about the stuff on the surface.
That's some strong content, man. That's some.
They actually bombed an American ship and killed American sailors.
You're saying the Mossad did that?
Israel did it. You can call it who you want to, but who's in charge and who does all of the covert operations? That's like you trying to separate the CIA from like the president.
You're trying to convince me that the Mossad took down an American war vessel. That's what you're telling me. A U.S. naval vessel. You're telling me that Mossad did that.
Do you quick Alexa or Google real quick and just say what happened to the USS Liberty? That's all you gotta say.
My computer won't blow up on me, will it? I want to do that offline. I don't want to do that right now.
Everybody knows knows what happened. Like, it's not no secret shit.
Was there any apology? Did they do anything to make us whole?
They said they made a mistake.
Okay, all right. They made a mistake, right? Okay.
Oops, my bad.
Holy shit! They made a mistake. And you believe it's possible that if we don't back them, they may make some more mistakes in the future.
Look, their track record speaks for itself. I don't have to beat no drum or anything. There's a reason why, American presidents have gone along with their bullshit for so long.
Jesus. I'm going to leave it at that before I get taken off the air unexpectedly. I'm hoping you're wrong, but I don't have enough knowledge to say you are. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's frightening, though. That's concerning that our biggest ally could easily be our most devastating enemy, according to you.
But you said you've seen them say that they're not going to stop, right?
Yeah, but I saw Trump threaten to kill a whole civilization. They lie on the public stage. You're saying they're not lying is the problem. That's the difference.
They're still going forward. They didn't stop because Trump said this stuff. What they said is they said that they're not a part of this MOU, which we know that they are.
Man,
so what are you saying? Somebody's got to back down. You saying that Netanyahu, from the pressure from his whole country, the opposition who want to put him out and put him in jail, he's going to capitulate to Trump and just stop?
I'm going to hope and wish and damn near pray that I'm right and you wrong, but I don't know for a fact. I think you might be more right, but I'm going to hope and wish and pray that you are. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's frightening shit, because that obviously means...
I don't want to get into too much detail. I just wanted to say a couple more things. I don't get a chance to get on very often. But did you see the fight at the White House? Did you watch the fight?
No, I watched I did see the highlights of it on YouTube. No, I didn't watch it.
No, I'm talking about the ones where them folks was on a White House lawn fighting.
Yes, I did. I posted that. Yeah, I saw. You talking about the MAGA fighting in the crowd?
The people that talked about the disrespect of the White House when Obama and them was sitting there, it was like, why did they let Common come to the White House to say poetry? These people, it was so disrespectful.
Yeah.
What they did, along with the guy talking trash about
Michelle Obama. It almost ended up, did you hear that it almost ended up being a mass casualty event?
Yes.
Yeah, that to me seems obvious. If you put thousands of people on the White House lawn and the president is in front of that crowd, something bad could happen. Then you letting the fighters come out and shake hands and shit. I mean, like, the room for something to go wrong, that's a security nightmare for the Secret Service that he would even throw something like that.
Exactly. And he did it while claiming we need some damn ballroom because the accommodations aren't good enough. Like, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. But it's Trump, so it probably will happen again. So that's kind of how it is. What you have real quick?
You said something about the Kazakhstan.
His children are apparently making a fortune from the country of Kazakhstan. I know this is what a senator's campaigning on what he's saying. I suppose it could be researched, and you don't hear the Trump administration pushing back. Do you think there's some possible validity to it?
Of course, is just think about the things that his kids are into now. They went from real estate, managing his golf clubs and stuff. Now they own drone companies. They own companies that make precious metals and stuff. They own crypto companies. I mean, everything that's made like major money, they have mysteriously
got involved in it.
Days before, not like they had interest like 2 years ago. Days before, they buy into a company. They give that company government contracts, sometimes no bid contracts, and instantly overnight
they making a killing. Yeah.
And the same people that will still tell you about seeing damn Hunter Biden's dick pic in the goddamn video of him smoking crack with hookers is somehow more egregious than than what these people are doing right now.
Do you expect? Do you believe they should go after the Trump children and some of his associates after Trump is gone for some of that money back, or at least do an investigation on it?
Yes. Well, he's going to pardon. He's going to pardon.
You can, yeah, you can pardon them, but if the money, well, if they haven't been charged with a crime, I mean, I guess you could pardon them. You could pardon them preemptive. So anything my kids done from the time they were born, and not like what he tried to do with the IRS. You know, with the IRS, you can't do any audits on me or my kids going for. I suppose, but
yeah, you can do that up to the point where they get a pardon. But anything after, if they continue in what could be looked at as a criminal organization, they might be, like, if they stop doing whatever they was doing at that point, yes. But if they continue to do it, yeah, they can't stop you from investigating whether you're,
there's got to be there's got to be a way around it. We'll see. I mean, they're all lawyers in Washington anyway, so we'll see what kind of savvy way they could. But if they know it's ill-gotten gains and he pardons them and all that, and they're still making a fortune off of it, it's got to be some kind of way, if that's the case, to go around those pardons. I mean, because that's the U.S. taxpayers are funding their avenues into making all this money, and the U.S. taxpayers get nothing out of it. So there's got to be a way to recoup some of that.
Yeah, it is. And just the last thing, I do a speed thing. Yesterday or the day before, I think I came on late. I didn't just get a chance to come up, but they was talking about what did Biden do for black people. Mm-hmm. And I had a couple things. He nominated. The SCOTUS pick, obviously, we know that.
Yeah, Letitia James. What is her name? Nataji Brown, is it, or something?
Yeah. Nataji Brown. They had 11 black women hired as federal judges, the most ever. He had thousands of weed convictions expunged, low-level or nonviolent weed conviction. That was thousands of black people that were released from prison. He banned chokeholds, which were
huge,
mostly used against
minority suspects.
Yeah, anti-lynching bill.
It's crazy that in the 2000s you got to have an anti-lynching bill.
Yeah, they had to do an anti-lynching. $2.2 billion for black farmers, which was later rescinded by Trump because they said it was racist. And then what they don't seem to understand, or they don't realize, is that Ronald Reagan, their hero, is on recording calling black people monkeys. So they don't necessarily know the history. They just keep saying Trump did a lot for black people. Biden didn't do anything for black people. Democrats don't do nothing for black people. While we acknowledge the progress we've made, and then we still say the Democrats ain't never did nothing. We should just vote for Republicans. Well, the people saying that are not attributing any of the advancements of black people to the Democrat cause. We might want them to do more and think they can do more, but to say they haven't did anything while we standing on these, you sitting on these platforms, I'm sitting on, the wealth I've accumulated, and to say that the Democrats haven't done anything for us is kind of...
Well, the problem is, I'll end it with this. The problem is, and this is where I give Trump credit. He's willing to go on TV and brag and boast about everything he's done. Biden obviously was just running the country and not doing that so much. And as a result, a lot of the things that he may have done that are, beneficial, people don't always know about. Trump pats himself on the back for everything that he does, and so does MAGA, over and over and over again, to the point where he's patting himself on the back for things he may not have even done, may not even be true. But the fact is, he talks to the people like that.
That's part of the problem there, Tim. You get up there talking about may not be true. It's not fucking true. He didn't do a whole lot of shit for black people. We know that.
I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Biden had the lowest unemployment for black people in the history of the country, and now it's almost double back under Trump. So we can talk about stats and what's true and what's not. None of that almost stuff. He didn't do shit for us.
I'll leave it at that. That'll come up in the future. Cal, as always, thanks for coming through.
All right.
Tap the screen, folks. That was an Instagram call. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 25,000. Looking in the comments, is Trump bragging about that reflection pool? He's bragging about all the upgrades he's done to DC. He's saying that he's brought down crime in DC, that people can walk down the street without fear of being, victims of felonies. He's talking about beautifying the country, whether we're talking about the Tribunal Arch, the green reflective pool you're talking about. I know where you're going with this. That will be corrected under President Trump. Plus or minus a few $1,000,000 of your tax money, that will be corrected. He's throwing events. You've had a beautiful military parade, plus or minus a few taxpayer dollars. You've had a UFC fight now. I mean, you're going to have a lovely ballroom added on to the White House, plus or minus a few tax dollars. So he's done a lot to beautify the District of Columbia. And that's what he is often bragging about. Tap the screen, get us up to 25,000. I bet this brother loves Clarence Thomas, says one of my viewers. I guess he's looking at the backdrop and he's coming to that conclusion. I wish someone will ask him what are black jobs. He's actually cleared that up. He's talking about jobs in factories. He actually said that. I posted a clip, I think, on my TikTok page. He indicated that he's talking about jobs in factories when he's talking about black jobs. So blue collar jobs. Real quick before we go to the next caller and tap the screen, get us up to 10,000. Help your boy out with the hat and mustache TikTok cap goals. First time I'm soliciting that. Show the program some love. This is what we're talking about. This is Senator Jon Ossoff out of Georgia. I don't know if this is factual, but I do want to play it for you guys. And for that to work, I need to have my audio working. But I do want you to hear this clip of what me and my last caller was talking about, because we talked about Hunter Biden, 10% to the big guy, Burisma, and Hunter making all kinds of money off his dad's name. That came up often during the Biden administration.
Just listen to this. Last September, the president of Kazakhstan calls Donald Trump and says he wants to grant tungsten mining rights to an American company. And the very next month, Eric and Don Jr. get a stake in the American company pursuing the mining deal. 6 days later, 6 days after Prince Eric and Prince Don get their stake, Kazakhstan announces this company will get, quote, the largest known undeveloped tungsten resource in the world. A few more weeks go by. And then the US government, run by their father, sets aside $1.6 billion of your tax dollars to fund and finance their mining project in Kazakhstan. All this while you pay more for gas, for groceries, for healthcare.
So do you believe what this senator campaigning against the Trump administration, do you believe what he's saying? Do you think there's any accuracy? We talk about that because, like I said, you heard about Burisma, you heard about 10% to the big guy. You don't hear the Trump administration complaining at all about any of the children's projects where they are making a killing. All of Trump's children have began to profit immensely since their dad became president, particularly in this second term. I know Jared Kushner and Ivanka made a killing off his first term, but Don Jr. and Eric and Barron are now making a killing off his second term. And you're not hearing the whole 10% to the big guy sentiment coming from the Trump administration. It's like they suddenly are okay with children profiting off their dad's name when the dad is Donald J. Trump. So we'll talk about that. In the comments, I see Dolphin says, I believe him. Hell yeah. Yes, I believe him. Everybody's saying they believe him. Trump racist inbred crime family. What the hell, Derek? What are you trying to say? So moving on, we're talking about the fact that the war has come to an end, says the Trump administration, and whether or not you think that's the way it's going to stay, or are we going to end up falling back into something more sinister? Truth, as I say, TT Truth. Good evening, welcome to the program. Yes, sir. We all know that they're not lying. Double T, what does that name say there, sir? Truther?
Hey, thanks for having me, Tim.
Good to have you.
Great program. Hey, I wanted to talk about the Hunter thing, but can I say a couple things about J6 first?
Sure.
That guy Michael Fanone, I don't like to claim Antifa was there and all that like some people do, but Fanone himself is Antifa. He was at the Jack Smith hearing in a shirt that said something like fighting Nazis or killing Nazis or something like that. And
How do
also
you?
his body.
What evidence? Wait. What is your evidence that he's Antifa?
They're wearing a shirt, like an anti-Nazi shirt, to a DC hearing where everyone else is in a suit and tie just to make a scene. And then he was also argumentative, and he was like trying to start fights with people in the gallery too. So
That's all it takes to become Antifa is to wear an anti-Nazi shirt and get in a fight.
Well, it just shows his mindset. That's how he thinks.
You got a lot of people with that mindset. That wait, but is that the mind? Is that what normally what Antifa does? Is start fights with everybody and wear anti-Nazi shirts?
It's certainly part of it, but the point is that he's wearing to a formal hearing. He's wearing a shirt talking about fighting Nazis. Like that's what he's doing.
Oh shit! If he's wearing here's what I don't get. If he's wearing a shirt to a formal hearing and you come up with that opinion, I'm scared to think what you think of Senator John Fetterman, the way he dresses. What do you think he is?
Hey, he was pretty good till he went to bat for Israel. But the other thing I've known is if you watch his body cam footage, it shows something different from what his J6 testimony is. But I don't want to go too much on.
You went pretty deep into it. I can't just let you say all that shit and move on. Just give me your quick synopsis, your quick analysis. What do you think happened on January 6th, in your opinion?
I think a lot of people were upset with the election, and they showed up to protest it. And I think a small group of people went into the Capitol. Most people didn't have any plan to do that. And so my real issue is that the Democrats tried to assign blame. They exaggerated it. They called it a terrorist attack. And then they tried to assign blame across all of MAGA. And at my job, I had people commenting to me, talking about, you going to go storm the Capitol? And it's like, it's shit like that really just upsets me, because a lot of people lost their lives after the fact. People were facing misdemeanor charges, and yet they felt it was so bad that they took their own lives.
But here's what I don't get. Here's what I don't get, because you're talking about they branded everybody based on the felonious actions of a few. Once you start, and I understand where you're coming from, but here's the point. Once the right starts defending these folks, pardoning these folks, offering to give them all money, including the ones that are on video committing felonies, it's hard not to brand the whole party at that point. Imagine if a liberal politician had a BLM member actually setting fires on video, pardoned that guy, and was suggesting that we should give that guy compensation for being arrested. You would brand the whole party, would you not?
Oh, well, Tim, in May 2020, they just did just that.
So what's the difference then? So in other words, what's the difference? So what's the difference at that point? They went to the
White House. They burnt down the guard shack. They injured 50+ Secret Service members.
So what's the difference?
Trump was evacuated.
So I'm trying to figure out what's the difference? If you can see it on the left, how are you excusing it on the right?
It's mostly the quantity. We had months of BLM riots, and like I said, they went to the White House, they set fire to buildings in D.C., injured 50+ Secret Service, and the left excused it, and then also made fun of Trump for having been evacuated. So, you can still search that, by the way. If you search a bunker boy on anywhere, there's still people that.
Do you believe the right excuse what happened on January 6th?
Well, I think the fact of the matter is when the left lies and they exaggerate things, and then you end up defending the false story they make up.
Do you believe anybody did anything wrong on January 6th?
Absolutely, but it was a small group of people.
Were they defended by the right? Was that small group of people defended by the right?
I think most of the right defended the people that truly did nothing wrong. And
what about the ones that did do something wrong? Let's focus on the ones that did do something wrong.
I didn't see people on the right defending the people that broke windows or beat cops. I didn't see that at all.
Then how did they get? Then where's the outcry for them getting pardoned? If you're admitting some of them did something wrong, where's the outcry on the right for them getting pardoned and then offered compensation? If they're not defending them, where's the criticism of that?
Well, Tim, I think it's much easier to just do a blanket pardon than to go do a case by case. And a lot of those people served more time than they otherwise would have in other situations, because the Democrats were trying to throw the book at them and create this scenario where they could label Trump an insurrectionist and then remove him from the ballots, as they did in Colorado.
So you believe if somebody is caught on video, in your opinion, a small group of people committing actual felonies, it's just easier to pardon them with everybody else?
That's my analysis of what happened. Yes, most of the charges were trespassing, Tim. You got people on the left that think that all those people assaulted police. There was only about 500 people that did that, and most of
500 people?
violence.
Only 500 people assaulted police?
Yes, sir. The bulk of the charges of the 2,000 people was trespassing. And yes, my
500?
is true, sir.
How many police were there that day? 500 of them assaulted
There
police?
was tens of thousands of people were there, Tim. Some even.
How many police
1,000.
were there? How many Capitol Police were there?
Not enough. Some of them, in fact, thought they were set up because there was such a short shift there. And then Trump also authorized the National Guard, sir.
So that small group
OIG
of
report.
group of Capitol Police you're talking about got assaulted by 500 different people.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a protest where people are like pushing barricades, and then they consider that assault. So, take that for what you will. I don't think there that many people beat them over the head with fire hydrants or whatever the case was.
You really are downplaying this. You got a guest that wants to talk to you, Mike. Good evening.
Hey, Tim, sir, can I bring to your attention what Michael here said? Because
He hasn't said anything yet.
Well, no, he pushed back on the National Guard claim, and I want to point out to you that people on the left do not believe that Trump authorized the National Guard, but there's an OIG report that clearly lays out that in the days before, they absolutely did. It was authorized.
On J6?
Days before they approved it, sir.
Yeah,
Trump approved it, sir.
Can you pull that up?
I don't have it in front of me right now. It's an OIG report on the Jane 6. You can look it up.
Okay, perfect. I want to go back.
You haven't done your research.
I want to. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Have you ever encountered me before?
No, man.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're gonna learn today. First of all, number one.
You gonna lie about J6, Hood?
Donald Trump actually issued the National Guard during the BLM rise, correct?
I'm not sure. Did he?
Yes, yes, he did. Okay,
I think there was hesitance to do that.
I know, but he did. That's number one. Number two,
That's
on
an interesting
J6,
point.
there were anywhere from 30 to 50,000 people at the Stop the Steal rally, correct?
Some estimate more. Yeah.
But 30 to 50. Well, what did your research tell you?
I've always been sticking with 100,000. We saw that UFC event this week. They had 80,000 there. So
it was anywhere between 30 and 50,000.
There you go.
10,000 people entered. 10,000 people went outside the building in a restricted area that they were not supposed to be in. Will you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that, and I see that as you exaggerating to try to cope and make your thing make sense.
10,000 people were in the restricted area where they were not supposed to be. 2,500 entered the Capitol.
Yeah, see, Tim, what he's doing, he's trying to say the 10,000 were outside, and he's trying to make that a deal because
Did you hear what
the
I
fact
just
is
said?
that the numbers are so small of people that went in versus the people that did anything violent.
If there's 30 to 50,000 people there, let's just go on the 50,000 side. Let's go to the high number. 50,000.
And so it was mostly peaceful? You would agree that it was mostly peaceful, sir?
No, not at all.
How was it not mostly peaceful if there was that many people there and only 500 were charged with assaulting police?
If you'd allow me to finish, I know what you guys did. So
what's 30,000 divided by 500, sir?
Anywhere from 30,000 to 50, but I'm going on the high end.
Even better. So 50,000 and then only 500 assaulted police. So that's even more of a disparity, sir.
Are we going to have a conversation or are you going to get scouted? Just let me know.
I want you to admit that J6 is mostly peaceful, and then we can move on, sir.
It wasn't mostly peaceful.
It absolutely was.
Well, hold on. Let me interject. Let me just say this. While you're pursuing him saying that J6 is mostly peaceful, I'm going to point out, if we can look at BLM and say whole cities are burning down, and you heard Charlie Kirk say BLM equals burn, loot, and murder, when their protests are mostly peaceful. Every town in America with a 50,000 population or more has had a BLM event, yet the right says that group is violent as hell. So I'm just going to say, I understand what you're trying to suggest, pointing out mostly peaceful, but I'm going to tell you that ain't the way you guys frame BLM. You say they're going to, you would think every city in America has been burned to the ground by that group.
I'm glad you say that, Tim, because what I'm doing is I'm being reasonable, and I'll admit that that's true what you just said, but the fact is that J6 was mostly peaceful, and look at your chat, and look at this guy, Michael. They're unwilling to admit that.
Are you going to get
so people on the right
conversation?
Well, hold on, Michael. People on the right are willing to agree that both were mostly peaceful. People on the left will not admit that. I did hold on for the host,
Truther. I did hold on for the host, but you still haven't answered.
I'll just say this. I believe I kind of agree that it was mostly peaceful during the time Trump and who was it? Trump and Steve Bannon and Flynn and Julian. When they were when they were speaking, when they were speaking, it was mostly peaceful. The crowd that went to the Capitol building, now the mostly peaceful stuff is out. When he said we're going to go to the Capitol and I'll be with you, you're talking about before they went to the Capitol. I agree that was mostly peaceful. What happened at the Capitol? I don't agree with that.
That was also most of those people were standing around, sir.
And Tim, that's what I was getting at, Tim. Because the people at the ellipse, everybody that was at the ellipse, the 50,000, did not go down to the Capitol. So we're talking about the subset of people that went to the Capitol. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And the people that went down to the Capitol was not mostly peaceful. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the FBI planted people down at the Capitol to be disruptors?
I don't know if they personally did that. I'd like to know why they didn't arrest the pipe bomber since
That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you.
That's a very important thing to get to.
So you don't believe the story that Donald Trump said that the Biden administration planted FBI?
Trump did say that.
There was people in the crowd there from the FBI. There was Proud Boys in communications with their FBI handlers.
So I'm asking you, do you believe that the Biden administration implanted the FBI down at the Capitol? That's my question.
I believe they created a fake insurrection narrative to affect the elections.
Who are they? Define they. Who are they?
Nancy Pelosi profited from J6. She was in there.
That's not what I'm saying. See, listen, I know what you debate bros do, and you're not equipped for this conversation. Can you answer my question? Either yes or no. It's just simple.
What are you asking me? Well, you're trying to ask me leading questions to.
No, I'm not.
I don't
it's
like
just
that.
a simple question. Donald Trump said that the Biden administration planted the FBI informants and agitators at the Capitol. Do you believe that? Yes or no?
Maybe that's its interpretation of there being so many of them there.
Okay, question. So if that's his interpretation, how could that be possible when he was president?
I mean, you saw them set him up with the Russia hoax, so there's no mystery there, sir.
I'm not talking about the Russia hoax, sir. I'm talking about J6. Who was president during J6?
Was that his FBI that did the Russia hoax? It certainly was.
Okay, wait, hold on, hang on a second. He's talking about J6. Look, I get how you feel about the Russia hoax, and that's an entirely different event though that has no connection to this. When the Russia hoax you're talking about happened, a different person was president. You're trying to throw something in that is unrelated to this.
No, Tim. It proves that the FBI was acting in bad faith throughout Trump's first term.
Well, then, okay. Well, hold on. Let me. If what you're saying is true that the FBI was acting in bad taste, then I have to ask you. That was Trump's FBI at the time on January 6th, and now Trump's been in office for almost an additional 2 years since that. Why isn't he doing anything about it? Why hasn't anybody been brought to justice?
Yeah, no, he should have arrested guys.
Why isn't he doing it though? Why isn't he doing it? You're gonna tell me about bad cops and then do nothing about it? Does that make sense to you?
Well, that's one of his top critics is that he hasn't really done much.
Maybe because there's not anything to do. Maybe because what he's telling you, if he actually has to prove it in a court of law, like with the election, and he tried to prove that in the court of law, he might actually come up short, sir. Maybe that's why he ain't doing nothing about it.
Do you understand what I'm saying? This guy's saying that it's his FBI. It was Trump's FBI when Kevin Kleinsmith was altering documents to get his search warrants on him.
Okay, the point I'm making, if the FBI...
I'm proving that it doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. If you got if the FBI is corrupt, as you're indicating, and the president of the country, because remember, he's the same dude that said the IRS leaked his tax reports while he was in control of the IRS as well. He's in control of these entities, and he's blaming them for being corrupt, and nobody's being brought to justice. Where is the competence?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's too much for him to do. It's not like he's personally handling the day-to-day of either of those things.
He's suing them.
It's weird, Tim.
You're going to tell me you can sue the IRS for damages, but you can't have anybody fired when you're in control of the IRS? That actually makes sense to you?
I mean, I think people have been fired, actually.
Can you give me some names, if you will? Can you give me some names?
No, I don't have it in front of me.
I don't either, because I don't think it happened, sir.
Well, Kevin Kleinsmith was convicted of altering documents to illegally spy on Trump. So that proves that the FBI was malicious. And that's why when J6 happens, that's why people look at that. They say, oh, yeah, It's
That's a
totally
lie.
out in the open that they could be doing things like
Yeah,
that.
that's a lie. And you
What's
still
a lie,
haven't
sir?
answered my question. So you
What's a
still
lie?
haven't
Wait,
answered-
hold on.
so
What's a
you-
lie?
So you still haven't answered my question.
Are you saying the Kevin Kleinsmith is a lie?
Can you answer my question?
Did you just say that the Kevin Kleinsmith claim was a lie,
No,
sir?
well, I'm saying that you're full of shit. Can you answer my question?
Well,
I've been
I'm
sitting
not
here
full of
just
shit.
galloping the entire time I've been up here. You came up here and tried to dismiss J6, so I'm just walking you back on what you said. There were people that were armed at the ellipse that went around the metal detectors, and Donald Trump knew about it. That's a
He
fact.
knew about it.
He knew about it, and he actually
See,
said, and I quote,
Now you're lying, buddy.
Would you like to
Now
bet
you're just
some money?
lying.
How much would you
That's
like
sad,
to bet?
buddy.
How much would you like to bet, Truther?
You're saying Trump knew that people were going in there with weapons.
Yes, he was told that there are people. I know you're allowed to.
Tim, your buddy's cooked here.
Well, let me interject. Now, obviously,
Moving on, you're lying his ass off.
well, let me hold on. Let me interject. I'll just say this. Now, you're going to suggest he's lying because I'm assuming you probably just discounted the entire January 6th hearings committee. But that did come out, and it even came out that Trump said they're not here for me. You know, that he didn't feel any danger from that crowd, but they were going around the magnetometers. That actually was, and in fact, there's radio communication between the officers indicating people could be visibly seen with weapons. You're going to tell me that the officers knew people were armed and they never told the president?
I think it's silly to try to think that Trump had any control, and especially to think that he knew that people were armed going in there. That goes back to the failed attempt to say that he led an insurrection, which, to my point, they did to try to affect the election. They wanted to remove him from ballots like they did in Colorado. They were well on their way to doing that.
Please? Can we please stop deflecting?
There's no deflection, Michael, when you guys have lied.
3 minutes, Mike. 3 minutes.
Okay,
Your lies have
I'm
driven
trying
people to
he's
suicide,
just trying
sir.
he's just trying to run the clock out because he's not equipped for this. So it's easy to just go Google that he knew. I don't effing care they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away. Let my people in. When he said mags, he was talking about
The
them coming
magnetometers.
through.
Yeah.
He was talking about them coming through the detectors, the metal detectors. That came directly from, that's a quote directly from Donald Trump.
Let me
So
borrow some of that tinfoil, Michael.
when I told you you weren't equipped for this conversation, I meant that shit. Now, can we move forward? When
Well, sir,
Donald
we
Trump-
can move
when they had
forward when
the
you admit
BLM
that J6 was mostly peaceful.
It wasn't.
You can't do that, though, because you're in a cult, sir.
Actually, I can, and I'm about to do
He
it right
said
now.
he's in a cult.
During the BLM protest, Donald Trump deployed the National Guard at the Capitol. Correct?
I don't remember, did he?
I know. This is why you need to do your homework. Yes, he did. But he did not do it at J6. He was asked about it, and he refused to do it. It is his responsibility to do it.
That's not true, sir.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to show you how I'm telling you.
Trump
the truth.
approved it the days leading up to J6. There's an OIG
Again,
report that documents this.
Who was that? I would love you to show me.
Well,
Because
I'm more impressed that you're saying other things that are not true, sir.
I know, because it doesn't go with your narrative, but I can show you sources. Can you?
Sources of what?
Everything I've said, I can pull up a source and show you. Everything.
Well, you're
I've
claiming
said.
that he didn't authorize National Guard, so that
He
you're
did not
wrong.
authorize the National Guard before the insurrection started. No.
Okay, he did. Hey, Tim, take
He
note of that
literally-
because
matter of
that's in
I'm
fact a
gonna tell-
lie.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
What are you suggesting is a lie?
He's claiming there was no National Guard authorization, but there's an OIG report on the handling of J6. You can search it up, and they document in the days before J6, they absolutely had meetings about the crowd there and the concerns, and they authorized National Guard. And at that point, it was out of Trump's hands. It had been
Well,
delegated.
then let me ask you.
That's
Let
what it is.
me ask you a question. Let's assume what you're saying
It
is.
was, Michael.
Okay, let me ask you.
Because he-
Hold on, let me ask you a question, sir. Let's assume what you're saying is true. Let's assume what you're saying is true that he requested the National Guard. If you're throwing an event that you believe may have security concerns and you ask for security to be there, and when you show up to give the event, security is not there, do you continue with the event anyway, knowing ahead of time you felt that things may be problematic? Do you just continue with it anyway?
Well, yeah, if you think that you're going to have people on your side with law enforcement there and they're going to have it under control.
So why request the National Guard to begin with? So you request the security. security is not there, you're going to continue with the event because you say, well, I got law enforcement on my side. So the event turns out to be mayhem because you thought the fewer people that were there were going to be enough. So you got it wrong. Your crowd turned into mayhem. The crowd you invited there. How the hell ain't you responsible for that?
Well, first of all, Tim, he did not invite them there. That Trump was a guest speaker there at J6, so you should probably look into that. He was a guest
Who invited
speaker.
them?
Okay.
Who invited them?
Trump. Trump was a guest speaker. It was an
Who
event,
invited him?
People like InfoWars
Did
were
he answer his
inviting
question,
people
please?
there.
Who invited him? Trump didn't. So are you saying that? Are you trying to say that Trump did not put on True Social and tell people to come to the ellipse for the Stop the Steal rally? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe after he was invited, it wasn't.
So Trump was a guest speaker. The whole event is about protecting Trump, but he's only a guest speaker. He didn't invite nobody there. He didn't throw in anything. He's just a guest speaker, even though the whole event is about him. He's a headliner. He lets everybody else speak before him. He's a headliner. He personally sends them to the Capitol building. He's in control of the whole event, but he's just a guest speaker. That makes sense to you.
You sent them there to peacefully and patriotically.
But he's controlling the event. We can say he did say peacefully and patriotically. A guest
Trump was
speaker.
not controlling that event in any regards.
That's like saying Martin Luther King was a guest speaker at the I Am a Dream speech. Martin Luther King was just a guest speaker there. You're the guy that everybody came to see. If he didn't speak, everybody would have been pissed off. They came to see him. He's just a guest speaker, huh?
Tim, let me
Laugh all you want. I'm right. You're laughing at something that's true.
That is hilarious. Go ahead.
Hey, Michael, shut your bitch ass up. You're not equipped for
Okay,
anything.
Mike, I got for time. I'll give you, Mike, give your last word and then I'll move it on. But go ahead, Mike.
Okay, because I want to re-request him. Oh,
He dropped.
Sugar Shank left.
He told you to shut your bitch ass up and he dropped. I was going to talk to him a little bit more. He didn't have to drop. We don't censor, we don't ban, we don't block. We were gonna talk to him a little bit more. We had a little bit more. Go ahead and wrap it up, Mike. He trapped.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I still want to go back in the request and talk about this 14-point deal that I was telling you about the other day. I've read through all of it. Have you read it yet?
I got it in front of me, but I haven't read. I read a lot of the excerpts. I have read plenty of it. I got it in front of me. We're gonna end up talking about it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. I'll drop down and go back into the request, but I want to say this. This is why I'm so glad that you changed your rules, because people like that just spout this shit and don't know what they're talking about. Let's be very clear. What happened at the ellipse was initially
Thank you, Natalie.
Well, it was initially called Operation Mike Pence. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not know that.
It was originally called Operation Mike Pence.
Damn.
And yes, you go look at the
That's
indictment.
nasty. Wow.
That's what it was called before they changed the name to Stop the Steal.
Damn.
That's what it was called internally with John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump, and all of his cohorts at the time. That's what it was called. They were trying to get Mike Pence to not certify the election. That's where this all started. If you read the indictment, they hammered Mike Pence every day, even on Christmas. And then that's when Donald Trump started coming out and bashing him. Even when Mike Pence told him he wasn't going to do it, he turned right around and posted on Truth Social that hopefully Mike Pence does the right thing after Mike Pence told him he wasn't doing that shit.
Operation Mike Pence. I'll leave it at that. I got to move it on. We'll certainly end up talking again shortly. Thank you.
All right.
Alexa, have you ever heard of Operation Mike Pence?
I don't have any specific information about an Operation Mike Pence. Are you referring to something related to the former vice president's activities?
Alexa, stop. That's the first I've ever heard of that as well. Wow. Tap the screen. Mike normally comes with receipts. I'm surprised Alexa hadn't heard of that because I haven't heard of it. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 40,000, if you will. It will be wild, he said. I think Steve Bannon was the one that said that, didn't Cal? Yeah, January 6th will be wild. Look, I'm just going to say what I told the guest, and the guest dropped. If you want to come up here and defend any damn thing, we're all about free speech. So understand, we don't drop guests unless you're spamming or doing something that the apps will take you down for. We believe in letting the people speak. So we didn't censor him or drop. He dropped on his own. But I do want to push back on one slight thing. It's interesting, and he agreed to this, by the way, while defending the January 6th protesters. He did agree with me on this one, that the right stereotypes and frames all of BLM as folks that are burning down cities and shit like that. But they don't want that to happen to the January 6th participants. He even admitted, yeah, I guess we do that because there was no way out in that particular conversation. But fact is, yeah, they view all BLM participants as arsonists, murderers, and looters and all that shit. But when it comes to the J6 folks, now we should separate the bad guys from the ones that were just there protesting honestly. You can't get in the mud if you don't want to get dirty, is what I always say. Tap the screen, get the lights on up. In the comments, Papa Trump will save this country as delusional Joe, and Karen Kamala will destroy it as they have already tried. They're gone. I don't know why you bring it up. Certainly Joe Biden is gone. He's part of history now. So bringing up anything Joe Biden has done or you claim he's going to do is irrelevant. It just, at some point, it becomes derangement syndrome. Tell me your definition of derangement syndrome and tell me that some folks don't have Biden derangement syndrome. He's gone. Why is Biden's name coming up at every event every time Trump is in front of the microphone? He's gone. In fact, he talked about Biden today. What's the purpose of that? He's gone. In potentially dying of cancer. The man has stage 4 fucking prostate cancer. Why is his name still coming up so often? I don't want to hear about Trump derangement syndrome if you're okay with that shit. Real quick in the comments, the great Lola, beautiful song by Barry Manilow. Thank you very much. Going back to the box, we'll go to Kareem the Dream. Good evening, Kareem. Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up. We don't block banner sets, so you know how it works. Kareem, and thank you, Debo, for the hat and mustache. Yeah, thank you. Kareem, good evening.
What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
I'm in the trenches, but the good thing is good news. The war is over, says Trump. What say you?
Did Lego say it was over with?
Did who?
Did Lego?
Did the Lego video? I haven't seen the Lego video on it yet. I haven't seen one
we
yet.
know it ain't over, Tim. We know it's not over.
Well, your president, your commander-in-chief is telling you the war is over with. Is that not a reason to celebrate?
So what happened the other 39 times he said the same thing, Tim?
He may have made a mistake once or twice.
Once or twice. So how
Once or
long has
twice.
he been doing this?
Listen, when you get up in age, sometimes you get things wrong a little bit. You know how it is.
Oh, dementia, Don?
Well, I think you got that confused with the other guy. And by the way, folks, help your boy with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goes. Listen, he's getting up in age. The man has a late schedule. He's up in the middle of the night working hard for this great nation.
Tim?
Yes, sir.
Up tweeting at 3 a.m. is not working hard.
Well,
How is that working hard, Tim?
depends on what he's tweeting.
Tim, did you get up and go to work today?
Yes, I did. In the rain, might add.
Did you go out physically and do anything?
Yes, my job is physical, by the way. I'm a blue-collar
All
worker.
right,
I'm
Tim, that's
physical.
working. That is working. Using your thumbs to tweet is not working, Tim.
Well, it could be. I mean, a lot of folks type for a living. Would you not agree?
We didn't elect him to type, to tweet at 3 a.m., Tim.
We elected a president that we finally wanted somebody to be transparent with the people. Trump talks to the people. Can you not give him credit for that? Just today alone, he had an interview, I believe it was about, an hour and a half, 2 hours, as he pointed out himself. I've answered more questions today than Biden would answer in a month. I mean, the guy talks to the people.
And how many things did he say in the interview was absolutely a lie, Tim? Most of it?
He might have got a few things wrong. You know they all do that.
All right, Tim. Let me ask you one question,
Sure.
Tim. What's going on Friday?
Juneteenth.
What else going on, Tim?
This revealing of the 14 points of this Iran deal, they had told us they were going to release this shit on Friday. I guess, are they signing it or something?
Okay, Tim. Well,
Oh, you be I see in the comments. People were talking about the Obama library, whatever you want to call it. You talking about that?
yes, sir.
What about it?
So why is he taking the stage away from Barack Obama once again?
I mean,
Do you not see that this man is hateful, Tim?
Well,
One more thing. I'm trying to figure out why you give him a pass. Why do you continuously give him a
I'm
pass?
not giving him a pass. We're having a conversation. Half the country ain't gonna watch the Obama shit anyway. Half the country ain't gonna watch that.
Now, why is that? Why would you say half the country? Why wouldn't you just say the little 20 or 30% that he got?
Well, because you got to take into consideration the 20 or 30% he
You
got.
gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely watching. I plan on going to the museum. I'm from Chicago. I know it's right down the street from where I used to live. I could walk to it. I plan on going to the place, but not that day. But no, I say half the country. And thank you, Alter Ego. Appreciate that support. I say half the country because at least 30% is MAGA. I don't know what percentage are independents, but there's plenty of independents that do not like Obama in the left. And then there's going to be some folks on the left that may be working or may not just be politically interested. So about half the country is not going to watch that.
Well, I'll disagree with you. It's one of the most spectacular things that we're going to see in our lifetime. So I'm going to take it that 50% of the country, 60% of the country will be watching.
What's so spectacular? They opening up a library. What's so spectacular about it?
Because it's Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States of America. It's been 47 of them motherfuckers, and ain't nothing but one of them been black.
If half the country were African Americans, I would agree with you. But we're only like 13 to 15% of the population. Yeah, now among the black population, yeah, it's going to be way more than half of us are going to watch it. But we represent a small population among the country, though. You think everybody in Wyoming are going to be watching this shit?
Shit, did he become the president of the United States? How did he do that without over? How big of a difference did he win by? Was it 5 million?
He did a good job over McCain. He did a good job over McCain and Romney. I'm not taking that away from him, but there are a lot of people in this country, even to this day, that still do not like Obama. They're not going to be watching this.
All right, I give you that. But but all he's doing is just trying to overshadow Barack Obama and the Juneteenth. That's all he's trying to do. That's one more thing that I say once again. This is the
what is he really doing? What is
the
he?
Most prejudiced president that I've ever come across in my life.
Damn. Well, my audience, my beloved MAGA, are going to be asking what the hell.
I'll be 51 tomorrow.
But then let me put on my MAGA hat and ask you, what the hell is Trump did rather to make you indicate he's prejudiced? What has he done? He's giving money to HBCUs. He's created black jobs. What the hell has he done to make you suggest he's prejudiced?
Stand back and stand by. What did that mean, Tim?
Calm down. I'm going to take care of things.
Who was he talking to, Tim?
People that were acting rowdy.
What people, Tim? What color was their skin, Tim?
Well, there was a diverse crowd. It was a little bit of pepper in the crowd.
A little bit of pepper. Who was he talking to, Tim?
He was talking to a few boys that happened to be proud.
On the debate stage, they said, would you tell the Proud Boys what to do? And who was he talking to, Tim?
He was telling them to stand back and stand.
Right.
But he was not giving them an order to commence violence. He was giving them an order to remain peaceful. What's wrong with that?
See there, Tim? There you go with that fluffing.
Why?
Shit.
How am I
there you go
fluffing?
with the fluffing shit.
How is that fluffing?
With the fluffing shit, bro. How is that not an order, Tim?
If he's
stand back and stand by? What does stand back and stand by mean?
That
Tim?
means get up off of the violence. Calm down. I'm trying to negotiate peace. That's a good order.
So they stood back, and then what happened? On January 6th, Tim. What happened on January 6th, Tim? Did they come out full force, Tim?
There was a couple of them.
Were they hanging on side the building?
There was a couple of them, yeah.
Were they hanging on? Okay.
Yeah, a couple of them came out.
Were they supposed to be in the building, Tim? Tim, were they supposed to be inside of the building?
No, I believe it was closed. A few of them went in.
Why was the doors locked, Tim?
there was a session in progress, and it was.
All right.
I mean,
So did they comply with law enforcement?
some of them got let in. Some of them got let in. They didn't violate the law. Some of them got peacefully let in.
After when Ashley Babbitt got her head knocked out, shot off.
She got in. Okay. Listen, Ashley Babbitt was in process of climbing through, and she got injured. Ashley Babbitt got injured, but for the most part,
she got her head blown off. What you talking about, Tim? Injured.
Well, they showed her
They
being
had to
carried.
carry her up out that bitch.
They showed her being carried out. Her head was still connected. She got injured.
Well, it was a bullet through that motherfucker. How about that?
She got wounded. Yeah, she got wounded. I get that. I get that. Her family was rewarded, I believe, $30 million though.
And why is that, Tim?
The president kind of felt sorry for what they went through.
Why would the president give a woman who didn't comply and was trying to break through when a officer was giving her a command? Why would the president give her $30 million of our taxpayer money?
You're not making this easy at all. He felt generous.
That motherfucker so goddamn prejudiced, Tim. You ought to quit this.
Ashley Babbitt, a former Air Force, or not a former, but an Air Force veteran. The woman was only 4'11". She was unarmed, and the man took her life.
Was she complying? How many times did he ask her, leave, go, get away, stop? How many times did that man say that?
Maybe she didn't hear him. And I see the comments. Janice says, I can't watch this. Janice, we're having a conversation, Janice. Why can't you watch it? Listen, 4'11", unarmed. Yeah, she's climbing through a window, but does she deserve to perish?
Was she complying?
No, she wasn't compliant.
The young lady yesterday that they say stole the Pampers. She didn't comply, right?
That was fucked up. That was fucked up. That was. I don't have an answer for that. Maybe that was a.
Tim, one question, Tim. Did they arrest either the mother or the girl that they said did the stealing? They haven't.
No, maybe that was some cops that were just not trained properly.
Well, we would know that if we would have still had that big old data. You remember that database we had of those rogue cops?
Yeah.
What happened to that database, Tim?
Apparently, Trump thought it was redundant.
That motherfucker so prejudiced, Tim. Tim, we've had a multitude of white men around the United States that's kidnapped people. They did everything unimaginable. How many times have Trump put in the New York Times, I think we should kill this man? Or these guys, these boys?
Well, he has used it. He has used the New York Times. It just happened to be for the Central Park 5. So he has used the paper before, just not in this case.
So why didn't he do it against any other group of men?
Maybe he thought, the liberals might ridicule him if he did it or something. I don't have an answer for that other than what you're suggesting. There might be a little bit of prejudice. He's an 80-year-old man. There could be a little bit of that in there.
1.5 million blacks lost their job in less than a year, Tim?
What if we get those checks from that?
What if?
Yeah, I mean, look, it hasn't been a good time for black people. I get it. His first term, though, some say he did a lot for African Americans.
Like what?
We could bring up the fact that jobs were up in the black community, among others. We could bring up
What were they when he took office? At the same point?
No, I believe that the jobs numbers continued improving under his first term.
But what were they when he took office, though?
Well, when he took office they were going up under Obama. We had a great economy under Obama, but he maintained that at least until the pandemic.
Well, what about the second time? Where were the jobs at?
The second time has not been so well. Well, let's just be clear. Trump has been on a firing spree since his second term. So yeah, the job numbers are not going to be that good, particularly for people of color.
Who is he firing, Tim?
Some of
white men?
A few of the melanated have gotten terminated.
A few?
A few in the DC area. A few melanated federal workers have found themselves on the wrong side of employment. It happens. A few.
Boy, you know this man is the most prejudiced man we've ever seen, man. Stop this, Tim. I gotta go, man.
Then how do you explain black? Before you go, how do you explain Black MAGA if he's so prejudiced?
How can I explain Black MAGA?
Yeah.
Those are raccoons, black men pretending to be white men, wanting to be white men. That's all that is.
Where have I heard
That's
the
all
term
that is.
raccoon for? Oh, in my comment section. All right, I gotta move. Kareem, you didn't make that easy, but you're always welcome back. Good talk, man. Appreciate it.
I just need you to say it.
I
He's
want
one of
you.
the most-
And
What?
in regards to this conversation, everything you heard me.
Racist.
In regards to this conversation,
he wanted the most racist presidents ever. Not even presidents. Just say people. People in
wait a minute. You've had presidents that own slaves. How you gonna say he's the most racist ever?
1.5 million gone, just like that, Tim.
It hasn't been a picnic, but most racist ever. Most racist ever.
Ever.
I think that's strong
Ever.
language. All right, Chris
Ever,
Tucker.
ever.
By the way, they got a new Friday coming up. I gotta move it on. Kareem, thank you for coming through. By the way, I'll give you a follow as well. Thank you.
Already.
All right, good talk. Moving on with the program, and this is kind of like the Men in Black, the previous conversation. I want you to look at this and make that conversation disappear. Anyway, looking in the comments, how is the table? What do you mean by the table? Trump wears the armor of God. That's why he's always winning. Billy Berry, have you seen some of the court cases that you really think Trump is always winning? He just had his name removed from the memorial, the Kennedy Memorial. Is that a victory to you? They went after him for the UFC shit. I mean, he's lost a whole bunch of shit. What do you mean he's always winning? I think you might be ignoring the losses. He claimed the election was stolen. He lost like 60 court cases on the election. He's not always winning. He's not winning with Stop the Steal. He's pissed off about that. He's not winning. In a court of law, do you think Jim Comey is actually going to be charged and convicted of anything? Letitia James, E. Jean Carey, he's losing all of that shit. He's losing in all of those cases. Always winning? I think you're not paying attention to come to that conclusion. And I see in the comments, a pimp named Furback says if he's always winning, he says God protects pedos now. Yikes. And Arnita says they're laughing at him at the G7. I hate that if they are doing that, because listen, while we're criticizing Trump or, hoping for a poor outcome from Trump, remember, he represents all of us. His actions affects all of us. So if Trump does bad, we all do bad. Remember, if Trump is attacking other countries or pissing off terrorists or whatever, when they come to get revenge on Trump, it's you and I that are going to take the brunt of that. They're never going to get their hands on Trump. It's you or I that happens to be at a ball game or walking down the street and you get blown to smithereens. We're the ones that will pay the price for what he is doing, because most of us will outlive him anyway. So understand that we can talk about Trump and hope for his success or hope for his downfall, but understand that we are the ones that are going to, particularly his failures, his successes. You may not take part in a lot of his successes, but you will likely be victimized by his failures. So keep that in mind. Looking in the comments, Trump holds the record for a president sitting in a courtroom number one. Yeah, because most of the rest of them don't really get charged with anything. And he will only strengthen that record going forward. Trump will be in a courtroom again. That absolutely will happen, whether as a president or whether as a U.S. citizen. He will be in courtrooms again. I mean, they're going to continue fighting again, because all these lavish projects from the Tribunal Arch and all, they're going to keep fighting against that stuff, starting wars unnecessarily. Remember, he's been telling us Cuba is next. He's been telling us that. I'm going to assume, and I'm not any type of Trump connoisseur here, but I'm going to assume that he might hold off things on Cuba because Iran went so bad. I'm just going to assume that. because he was telling us that Cuba was next. I'm going to assume that may not happen, but you guys let me know in the comments. Finally, after 3,000 years, Trump has stopped Israel. Please, how has he stopped Israel? Explain that. Ask Trump Sting to rent you a place in his building, brother man. I can't afford Trump's building. Going back to the comments. We'll continue on with the program and we'll go straight to Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Gangsta. Help your boy with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes Gangsta Grandma. Good evening.
Look at the pedo in the damn audience, Duke. Get that trash out of here. What a big ass fuck up. He makes black men look bad. Raping a fucking 14-year-old. Ain't that about, bitch? Hey, that's your people, though.
How is it
That's
my
your
people?
little beloved maggot, though.
Oh my God.
You know, pedos love being pedos. They flock together like little birdies.
Well, the man says the event took place years ago and there's no more victims.
7 counts. 7 counts. Shut your mouth, though. Do not talk about that. Else I will take you to hell and back.
Okay, well I don't want
He is
to.
a pedo, and he groomed her. He told her he didn't even like. I read some of the things. You know what he said? She didn't like it in the ass. Yeah.
Okay, well I don't want to go to hell and back, so I won't. Let's get back to the actual topic.
That's your people, though.
Okay.
Your beloved maggots, though. Yeah. Wait on it. That's your beloved. That's why he bounced real quick. Did he not?
No,
Did
he is.
bounced real quick.
No, he
That
is.
little
He
bitch.
is still in the comments. He says she has
Look
no
at
hell.
how nasty that mofo is. I'll tell you what, though. They are good to be put on T-shirts, though. On God, they need to get they shit cut off and you know what I mean. There ain't no pedos should be on TikTok. There's kids on TikTok. Ain't there about bitch though?
Okay.
They let pedophiles on TikTok. So Tim, you over here caping for the white team man again now?
How am I caking for the white man? What are you talking about?
Really?
Trump says the war is. Trump says the war is
That
over.
war, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. No, I'm not a kid, but I wish you would touch one of mine, though. No, though. No, it's not over.
Why?
Do you know why he even did this? It's not even a deal. It's I forget what it's called. It's not a deal, only for 60 days. You know why he did it? And he said it today at G7. You know why he did it, though?
Why?
Because the global economy is going to go to hell, and they made him do it.
Well,
They made him do it.
being in all seriousness, America did want the war to be over with. So Trump, he destroyed the.
Comprehend with your slow looking ass.
What are you talking about?
I know you like the white the white man, little dingy berry, the little dingy berry. I know you like it so much, but it's not over with, sweetheart. Oh no. For one, it's not a deal. It's only on for 60 damn days. They haven't even got to the point of what he's going to get the, what is it called? Get the so-called boom booms taken care of. That's not even on it. It's not even in the damn so-called deal. You know what I mean? Get over it, man. It ain't over with.
By the way, hold on. By the way, the spammer in the comments there on TikTok, they're gone. Don't worry about that. It's been taken care of. So you believe the war is going to continue?
Yeah, it's going to. It ain't over with. You know what I mean? God, because you know why? The mofo's still alive. He's running. And he's going to make every excuse. See, you got just 2 people. Netanyahu, whatever how you say that mofo name, and the Russian guy. They all got something on this man. And he's going to stay, and he's going to stay doing this crap until unless he unalives, he has a stroke with a Big Mac. I'm praying to God it takes him out. You feel what I'm saying? Something.
Are you now? Trump is listen. Despite your political opinions, Trump is your president too. Are you rooting for our? Hold on. Are you rooting for our country to succeed? Are you rooting for our country to succeed?
No. Our country's not going to succeed when you have a racist white team man in office, Pookie. We're not going to succeed. We're going backwards. He laid off how many black women? over 300,000 black women. He's taking everything out of everything for black people. He don't even want us to exist. Are
What?
you fucking shitting me? But you want us to succeed what? Going back to what?
I'll tell you
2.0
this.
again?
I'll tell you this in the comments on
2.0?
in the comments on YouTube. Paul Carey says the most evil, racist, white president we've ever had is Obama. He says it's Obama.
Okay, let me tell you, you guys didn't like Obama because he was a black man, okay? He was a black man. And you know what he did? He gave us insurance. It may not have been the best damn insurance, but he gave us something. What is this white tea saltine gave us? What did the napkin gave us yet?
Safety.
Not a damn thing.
Trump says
Not a
he gave us safety. How about that? He prevented us from being nuked.
What safety?
He prevented us from
Get
being
the white
nuked.
shit out your mouth. You're dripping. Go do a napkin. I got one for you.
I want you to
I got one of your napkins for you.
I want you to give Trump, if what Trump is saying is
I
correct.
ain't giving that motherfucker credit for shit. Tim, if he would have left the shit alone, what Obama did, you numb nut, we would have been in this damn situation. Numb nut. What the hell are you talking about?
Trump has stated that they were on the cusp of getting a nuclear weapon and we stopped them.
You know what, Tim? I try not to roll my blunt fucking with you.
What?
I can't. That's why I want divorce papers with you. I can't. Seriously, I couldn't marry a man like you. I would be going to DV jail on God. I can't stand ignorant ass black men like you. I really cannot.
What am I saying is ignorant? The president said he stopped us from being nuked. What's so ignorant
His own
about that?
people said they didn't even have any. The CIA said they didn't have any. The reason why we're at the WAR is because of the Epstein files. Let's keep it a buck. It ain't nothing about that shit.
So you're suggesting that Trump started a war over keeping the Epstein files secret?
Yes, because he's all up in it, Pookie. He dumped over BABY up in the river. Oh, he's all up in it. All the grimy shit is all up in it. Come on now. His own people, that's why he got rid of her. His own people are saying there was nothing in it. One came out. Remember one dude said, I forgot that white tea man's name. He said, I'm resigning because all this shit's a lie. He covered his white tea ass. Come on, Trump. You're like a little mini black Trump, aren't you? You really are, aren't you? You do like that. You like it. Yes, master. Go get the whip and shit. Go get the whip. Because you're a house ninja for
I
real.
have never in my life been called the mini Trump. Where the hell
You are, because you be sucking cock so... you be sucking on that tinky winky so bad. I should get some lessons from you because you're so dabbing it, man. Like gagging.
Well, speaking of racism and gagging, in the comments, Me Too says Trump administration has asked a judge to halt an Illinois reparations program that offered black residents $25,000 for race-based housing discrimination. I have not heard that. Wow.
Look at that.
Huh?
Come to that.
Yeah, he's saying the Trump administration. So in other words, Illinois, the state of
you know what, Timmy Tim, they believe everything. No,
but think about it.
They believe it.
The blue liberal state of Illinois, according to Me Too, the blue liberal state of Illinois was going to give reparations to black residents, $25,000 for race-based housing discrimination. So they've been discriminated against. And the blue state of Illinois was going to try to make it whole with the African Americans that were discriminated against. And he's saying that Trump has asked the judge to stop that.
Oh, I believe that. He don't want black folks to have nothing. He won't even give us the mule. He won't give us 40 acres. He won't do nothing. He wants us back in the fields. That's what the black jobs are meant for. It wasn't for the construction and shit. It was to be back in the fields picking cotton and stuff. Come on now. He don't like us. He don't even like brown folks. He don't even like the poor white tea trash that voted for him.
I've been told that Trump used to date a black girl.
I dated a white man and would.
I don't know. Look, you really think Trump?
I can say I dated a white man and would.
You
want a cookie?
I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't actually believe you.
Oh hell no! I would never. have uncooked meat or semen or anything in my vajayjay. It is sparkling clean, okay? It is like toxic free. Like I don't got salmonella. Shit, you got me for no. You cannot ever say that about gangsta grandma. Not today.
Okay, well,
I ain't a seller. I ain't no seller like you, Chippy Chip Chim. You like the uncooked meat.
I'm not
you like those snow roaches.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but give me 30 seconds. I want to hear this clip, and I want you to hear it as well.
Department of Justice has now joined a lawsuit against the city of Evanston's reparation program. It offers grants up to $25,000 for African American residents impacted by discriminatory housing practices between 1919 and 1969. A group of non-Black residents sued, saying the fact that they are not included in this program constitutes racial discrimination. Now the DOJ is joining them. The city of Evanston saying that it does not comment on active litigation.
Wow. So in other words, some white Illinois residents sued, and Trump said, "Well, I'm going to help you."
Because you know why? The Peckerwoods don't want. They don't want the.
Thank you, me too. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy, right?
Well,
After all the Peckerwoods that you be loving, Pookie. You guys be sucking on them so bad.
My first response would be if Trump does not want to be deemed to be intolerant or racist, why would you have the DOJ join in this shit? He didn't have to get involved in this.
You know what, Tim? Let's keep it a buck. After he won, he said he doesn't even give a fuck about nobody no more. He don't give a damn. He knows. He's saying the shit out loud now. He don't care.
It don't look good. I don't have a defense for that. I don't have a defense for that because that is an optional battle he joined in. He didn't have to get involved in that.
Tim, comprehend this. I know you want to get the semen out your ears, but comprehend this, okay? Racists won. They never wanted a Black woman in office. They don't want nobody of color in office. They don't give a damn if they Black or white. Black or a Black man. They don't want nobody of color in office. You know why? Because they feel that the white T-man is going bye-bye, okay? But they need to talk to the white women that's running over to our jungle, you know what I mean? And getting our BBC. You feel me? They like our jungle juice.
Nothing wrong with that.
I like them touching my people.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know you don't because you
Why? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it. Look, there's nothing wrong with love, diversity in love.
You like the uncooked meat. You know what I'm saying? You do. You like the salmonella up on your
I didn't say any of that. I'm just simply saying.
You do, though, Tim. You think Melania Trump cookie, her vajayjay looks good. Like I tell you, Tim, you need to come back to the Black side and get you a sister because I don't know what the hell they doing to you. Because
give me a sister I can't resist her. Are you saying give me a sister I can't resist her? Red beans and rice didn't miss her. You sound like Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You need mac and cheese up in your life and stuff. You don't need no raisins and potato salad. You don't need no uncooked sausage. Tim, when I tell you, I promise on God, okay, on my Lord Savior, when I seen pink meat, I never, Tim. I thought all pig goobers, and I'm saying it nicely, pig goobers, I thought everybody had some color. I was so mistaken. Honey, boo-boo, they don't all have color.
You gotta get off of it. Let me tell you the drama you're causing me. You got David Burke in the comments saying Tim likes sugar cookies. What the fuck is a sugar cookie? What is that?
Why are you guys insulting the sugar cookie? Sugar cookies are fire. They're called snow roaches, damn it.
I like chocolate chip cookies. How about that? I like chocolate chip cookies.
Chip on God. Yeah. But damn, man, I gotta look at the sugar cookie and think, damn, the snow roaches killed it. I could never, Tim. I could never. Now I can't even look at a sugar cookie bag again. Oh, damn. They ruined the damn sugar cookie. That's why I say I like my Ritz crackers. At least they got some color on them. The saltines don't. Have you seen that?
Do you have it? Let me make sure I get this. Do you have any issue with interracial relationships?
Yeah, well, on one thing, I don't have a problem as long as they are allies. I don't mind if they are allies and they really are going out there and doing a do and putting their white tea privilege out there. I don't mind. But it's the racist ones I give a damn about. The ones that put the black men that put black women down because they go with the snow roach. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but how about this? You do understand, just like you're saying that some black men date white women and they start putting down their own sisters. You do understand you also understand there are plenty of sisters that put down black men who date outside their race as well, right?
I call their asses out too. What are you talking about, Will?
Okay, then we're getting somewhere. I gotta move it on though, gangster.
I do. But you know what though?
Real quick.
And my last thing. The war ain't over with. We got I'm praying God will take him back to the pits of hell.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We got 2 years. Don't tell me what the fuck I can't do. See, I'm not you. I'm not a cupcake. I'm not a fluffer. I stay what I fucking mean. But you know what, Tim?
Yes,
it's gonna get real bad again. It's gonna get real bad again. It's only for 60 days. It is. And it's all behind the global economy. He even said it, Tim.
The man says the war is over. The man says the war is over. We got to take him at his word. I got to move it on.
I mean, 39 times the war's over, Tim.
The
39 fucking
the
times.
40th time is a charm.
This
Gangsta
is the
grandma. The 40th time is a charm. So the man said the war is over. You got to take him at his word. Tap the screen. Get the likes up to 75,000 if you will. Trump is in the Epstein list. Yes, it is. Says I think it says bully. A bull rather. I don't think it matters. I don't think it really matters. I hate to say that because we're talking about young women that were abused, but I don't think it matters if Trump is in the Epstein files. I just think that folks who do not like Trump have made their minds up that he's in the files and he's probably abused somebody, or at the very least, he's protecting people that have abused somebody. And the folks that do like Trump are not going to hear anything of the sort. I don't think there's any minds to be made up at this point. Even if you got complete 100% unrestricted access to the Epstein files, my guess is the folks who do not like Trump would say, see, I told you so. That motherfucker's in there as I told you. And the folks that do favor Trump would probably say that shit was made up. Would probably say you can't trust the witnesses. Think about all of the stuff that came out with the E. Jean Carroll trial or any of the other women that have accused Trump of sexual abuse or sexual assault. They don't believe him. They're not going to believe anybody in the files either. You've heard enough come out, such as one young lady, one young girl, I think she was 13 or something at the time, got interviewed 4 times by the FBI, and the Fed said her testimony sounded credible. She indicated that Trump was making her perform oral and shit like that. They don't believe her. They don't believe her. So nothing's going to come out of the Epstein files that's going to change any minds. The people who do not like Trump are confident that the man is guilty. And they also believe Marjorie Taylor Greene, who suggests he's not only guilty, but protecting people that are. As Marjorie Taylor Greene said, he stated some of my friends will get hurt. He didn't say my friends are innocent. He said some of my friends will get hurt. So in other words, perhaps some of my friends may be held accountable for some bad shit they did years ago. So quit talking about the files. So the people that do not like Trump are on that side. The people who favor Trump, they're just going to believe all the testimony was created by folks who have had it in for Trump from day one. And that would include the feds, whoever was over the DOJ at the time, they're not going to trust any of those folks. It is as simple as that. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the Epstein files matters. And it will come out. You know, they say what's done in the dark will soon come to the light. Eventually, there will be a time in the future where all of that stuff's going to come out. And I don't think it's going to change any hearts and minds. The people that don't like Trump, they already got their minds made up. But I've said this many times on the program before. I've asked some of my personal friends that are MAGA and people I talk to on these platforms and outside of these platforms. I've asked him this simple question. I always throw this fictional scenario out there. Let's say Trump actually did commit a major felony, but yet he was telling you he was innocent and it was not true. The question I always ask is, who could tell you, as MAGA, who could tell you that he committed that felony if he's claimed to be innocent and you would actually believe him? Who could tell you that? If you're MAGA and you support Trump, who could tell you he committed a felony and you would actually believe him? If he's saying he's innocent, the answer is no one. The answer is no one. So I don't think it's going to really matter because he's going to always claim innocence so that anybody that's telling you, I don't care if it's even his own DOJ, because remember, Mike Pence says he lost the election. MAGA don't believe Mike Pence. Attorney General, in fact, almost all of Trump's administration when he was president the first time say he lost that election. They dismissed all of them. They're going with what President Trump says. Even though President Trump has provided very little proof that he won by a landslide, they're still riding with Trump. So when it comes to the Epstein files, there's nothing that's going to come out that's going to convince folks that support Trump that he's guilty. He's just going to dismiss everybody that were involved in the investigations, everybody that took reports, all of the police involved. Remember, they're not even taking the Capitol police officers seriously for what happened on January 6th, and that's on video, and they're not taking them seriously. If Trump says he's innocent, damn it, in the eyes of MAGA, he is innocent. Doesn't matter what you see on video. And I see in the comments, somebody even asked me, what if there is video, says Billy Wop. We're in the age of AI. We're in the age of AI. I posted a video that showed many of Trump's strong supporters now, Vance, Rubio, Lindsey Graham, saying all this awful stuff about President Trump before they became Team Trump. Posted it on TikTok. I got a ton of MAGA saying that stuff is AI. It's video. It's actual video of these dudes. So when you ask, what if there's video, they're going to dismiss the video too. There's video of J.D. Vance comparing Trump to Hitler. There's video of Lindsey Graham saying some similar shit. There's video of Marco Rubio saying he's an authoritarian and calling them damn near a fascist. I showed the video of this stuff, and they instantly dismissed it as AI. So if you got video of him humping on a child or something like that, there's no way somebody would be in a room with a camera or President Trump would be dumb enough to let himself get caught doing that. That's AI. It'll get dismissed. It'll get dismissed. There is nothing going to come out of the Epstein files that is going to change the hearts and minds of the folks that are detractors or folks that are supporters of Trump. Nothing. Maybe in the future, perhaps, but right now, while Trump is president, it's not going to matter. Anyway, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 75,000. And SGB says, Tim, all you have to say is they are a cult and say no more. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not going to matter. Isn't that a song, Bohemian Rhapsody? And nothing really matters or something like that? It's not going to matter. I actually thought of that too. They will say it's AI because they don't really care if he did it. Look, a lot of folks talking about my beloved MAGA, they believe the vision Trump is trying to direct this country on is so favorable for this nation that if he has committed some crimes in the past, is worthy of overlooking that because the vision he is pursuing is just that golden. So I don't think it's going to matter. I really don't think nothing will ever come out of the Epstein files. Looking in the comments, though, and tap the screen, get us up to 75,000. We'll take the next caller. Some of you guys can show your boy some love. Help your boy with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes awfully low. Not a lot of love today. It's not a good topic, not a good show I get. We're talking about the 14 points of the war ending. Now, I got them laid out here. I got a guest that we're going to talk to about it shortly, but Trump says the war is over with. Some of you folks seem to disagree. I think Trump wants this to be over with. I think he wants to be over with. Real quick, just going through this and get us up to 80,000. We'll take the next caller. 14 points. Number one, Iran and the U.S. agreed to end all hostilities. Simple enough. There's more This is a summary, a brief summary. I'm gonna give you a one sentence summary of all 14 of these, but this is a brief summary. The Blue One Banks. Thank you for showing your boys some love. I appreciate that. Thank you. Mutual recognition of sovereignty and territorial integrity. In other words, it's our country. Leave us the fuck alone. There was no threat of Iran ever interfering with America's sovereignty. So that's a gain for Iran. That does nothing for the U.S. We were never concerned with them interfering with our sovereignty or territorial integrity at all anyway. So I'm going to run through these real quick and see which ones are beneficial to America versus Iran. Number one, Iran and U.S. agree to end all hostilities. That's beneficial more to Iran because we've committed far more acts of hostility toward them than they have towards us. They don't have much of a military, so that benefits Iran more than us. Number two, whoa, Terry Armstrong with the whale. Yikes! Thank you, appreciate that. Number two, mutual recognition. Appreciate that, Terry. Number two, mutual recognition of sovereign territorial integrity. I just went over that one. Both of these so far benefiting Iran more than the United States by far. Number three, comprehensive final agreement within 60 days. Neither party benefits more from that. We'll see what happens in 60 days. Number four, U.S. Navy lifts all regional blockades. Iran's going to make a fortune from that because that's them moving oil and being able to import and export. They don't have a blockade of the United States. They have a blockade of the Strait. It's caused our gas prices to go up, $1 or so per gallon, but it's caused mayhem in Iran. I hear inflation was at 70% over there. People could barely afford things like bottles of water and shit. So the U.S. Navy lifting all regional blockades is going to benefit Iran significantly more than the United States. You're opening up their import-export market. Number five, Iran ensures safe passage and demining of Gulf lanes. That's beneficial to the United States. I mean, obviously the Iranians were controlling the Strait. So this is number five. So far, we finally found one that's more beneficial to America than Iran. Number six, restoration of pre-war trade and regional shipping. Obviously benefiting Iran significantly more than the U.S. Because, like I said, this is their import-export market. I mean, for the most part, through the war, America's been trading as normal, with the exception of some fuel prices going up. But this hasn't hurt our trade anywhere near to the level it's hurt theirs. So number six benefits Iran more than it does America. I don't know why my clip does not show. Oh, number seven is missing for some reason. I'm kind of wondering what that is. Number eight, Iran commits to nuclear non-proliferation and IAEA inspections. Obviously, there's no benefit to Iran in that at all. If they do it, that would benefit America. That's the sole purpose of the war to begin with, is we want to make sure they don't get a nuclear weapon and they're inspected. So that's the big one for the United States, number eight. Number nine, U.S. provides $300 billion in economic stabilization aid. That's all a loss to America. That's 100% loss to America. The $300 billion, now the MAGA side of the aisle is somewhat twisting where that money is coming from. I'm going to tell you this. If you give me money, I don't give a fuck where it comes from. I have more money now than I did before I met you. I don't care where the money's coming from. I don't care if it's coming from the Middle East. I don't care if you're lifting sanctions. I don't care if it's coming from U.S. taxpayers. I'm walking away with $300 billion more than I had before Trump became president. Who cares where it came from? It benefits Iran to the tune of $300 billion. Number 10, enhance maritime security in the Persian Gulf. Who's providing the security? Who's providing the security? So that remains to be seen. Is America going to provide all the security in the Persian Gulf, or is Iran going to do it? That remains to be seen. Number 11, formal negotiations start on remaining implementation details. That's neither party gains or loses. We'll see what that ends up being. Number 12, U.S. releases all foreign Iranian financial assets. In addition to the $300 billion, that's another 100% score for Iran. That's 100% score for Iran. There's no benefit to America in that at all. Number 13, Joint Task Force for Environmental Protection. I don't know. I get what is that about? I mean, are they doing environmental protections in the water in the Strait in the Persian Gulf, or is this in regards to the uranium in Iran? I don't know what that is. And last, number 14, UN Security Council oversees and approves the entire plan. I think with the UN Security Council overseeing and approving the entire plan, that's far more beneficial to the Iranians because America is the one that can break the deal and actually be able to do some damage. If Iran breaks the deal, America just start bombing them and shit again. So I think it's more beneficial to Iran to have a third party overseeing the agreement than it is to America. Because the only reason we're at war with Iran now is America is the one that broke the original deal. So most of this shit I'm seeing, Iran has benefited more than America has. Other than stopping him from getting a nuclear weapon. I don't see the rest of it. We'll go to the man with the receipts, the man of the hour, Mike the boss. Mike.
Man, I told your ass, but I need to correct something from when I was up here earlier. And you can ask Alexa. I said Operation Mike Pence. It's Operation Pence Card. So ask her that.
Pence Card. C-A-R-D?
Card. C-A-R-D. Operation Pence Card.
Alexa.
What Donald Trump called it.
Have you ever heard of Operation Pence Card?
Yes, I've heard of Operation Pence Card. It was a 2020 conspiracy theory claiming then Vice President Pence could reject election results. This idea was debunked as legally unfounded.
You remember when Donald Trump was saying he could change the electors? They called it Operation Pence Card. That came out in a separate indictment when and I was just reading it. That's why I said, I like to correct my shit. It was when he was subpoenaed to testify and he didn't want to. And that's what Donald Trump, they were calling it Operation Pence Card, trying to get him to change the fake electors. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Before we get into the 14 points, Handsome Conservative says, I'm confused. I thought the Democrats would be happy when the war ended. Not if it's ended on false pretenses. I mean, we don't, look, if we got Obama with the JPCOA and you guys are bitching about him giving Iranians 1.7 billion, and then we throw his deal out and somehow Iran walks away with 300 billion, you think the Democrats are going to applaud that? I mean, you got 13 service personnel that are dead. You got a host of bases worth billions of dollars destroyed. Not to mention we used up half of our military weapons doing this shit. Then we got to spend all kinds of taxpayer money to replace that as well. Where is the benefit? What do we gain in this at all? Mike, talk to me.
Listen, so let's go back to number 7.
What is that? I don't have it. I don't know why it's missing.
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it directly. I'm going to read it. Number 7, the United States of America undertakes to terminate all types of sanctions against the Islamic Republic of Iran, including the United Nations Security Council resolutions, IAEA Board of Governors resolutions, and all unilateral U.S. sanctions, primary and secondary, and agreed upon schedule as part of the final deal. The Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America acknowledge the critical importance of sanctions, terminations issued above mentioned, and express their intention to immediately address these issues in the negotiations and in order to achieve mutual agreement. So lift all sanctions against Iran, all of them, primary and secondary. So they're going to be able to receive their funds. So all the funds that we had locked up, they get that too. That was in number 11. They get all. I'm sorry. That was.
And thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty Mark, for the support. Let me before you continue. Let me just ask the folks in the crowd. Is there anybody between Trump and Obama? Who do you think deal is better? Is there anybody that think what Trump is in the process of negotiating is better than Obama? I'm going to flat out say I don't see any way to defend this. I don't see what Trump has done that is any better than what we had with Obama. We lost 13 people to get this deal that Trump has. And like I said, we lost billions, triple-digit billions of dollars to walk away with this shit. Where is the benefit of what Trump has accomplished? Is there anybody that believes Trump's deal is better than Obama's? And if so, why?
Mega Reaction said Trump, but Tim, I'll guarantee you he hasn't read it. I will fucking guarantee. And if he has, he can't comprehend it. because
I got it.
everything in
I'm
here-
dying to hear from him. I wish he could talk to you,
He's right
but
there.
yeah, I like it.
He's right there. But let me break down a couple other things.
Sure.
When they're talking about in number 11, was it number 11? Let me see.
Formal negotiations start on remaining implementation details is 11 that I got.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about the nuclear program.
What do you mean?
It is no different than what we had under the agreement with Obama. It's actually what they agreed to then. There's no difference. They're not gaining anything on that language. Go look up the JNPC or whatever it is. I always forget the acronym. If you look it up and read it, there is no difference. They had pledged that then. There's no fucking difference.
I got on now while I'm talking. I got the big screen on behind. News Nation is claiming this is a breaking news ticker. It says Trump signed a rendezvous in Versailles, but it also says that Trump has joked about blaming J.D. Vance if this doesn't work out well.
And he was, but the bottom line is that's what he said. But Tim, I don't know if you saw him speaking today, but Marco Rubio was standing behind him. He was looking sick. As soon as they signed this deal, Iran gets to export and import whatever they want, just like they normally could.
Right.
But now there's fees. There weren't fees before this conflict.
So you're saying
now,
that they're gonna have tolls in the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes, they're gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Now it is interesting you said that because Trump made it clear that was going to be part of the ending of the war is to have a strait free for everybody to use. But I just noticed in the 14 points that isn't mentioned. Another thing that's also not mentioned, in addition to him not mentioning anywhere that Iran cannot charge tolls, no mention of the protesters that Iranians were allegedly killing in their own country. That's the whole reason, one of the main reasons we said we went there. Regime change, and we were going to put in somebody that America found suitable. We were going to stop them from killing all their protesters. And then, of course, they couldn't get a nuclear bomb. So 2 of those 3 stated goals in the beginning are not even on the table anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. It's literally, Tim, listen, this deal is so in favor.
It's bad. It's bad.
Now, let me read number 11 because this is important. This is number 11.
Mm-hmm.
The United States of America undertakes to make fully available for use the frozen or restricted funds and assets of the Islamic Republic of Iran upon implementation of the MOU. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran will mutually agree on the procedures related to the release of these funds during negotiations. Such funds, whether retained in their original account or transferred, shall be made fully usable for payment to any ultimate beneficiary designated by the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The U.S. of America undertakes to issue all necessary licenses and authorizations accordingly, meaning you guys get all of your money with no restrictions. It gets to be transferred from the original account or wherever we have it back to your banks. So they get all of their money that was frozen. They have no sanctions at all. There's no changes there's no changes in the nuclear program, and they get $300 billion. That's supposed to be the Gulf of the Gulf.
I'm going to say this right here is what will separate the men from the cult. If you listen, there are a lot of reasons to vote for Trump. I'm not going to discount that. I understand why a lot of folks voted for Trump, even African Americans. There were some legitimate reasons based on what he promised and things like that and campaigned on to vote for Trump over liberals. But at this point, a lot of things that folks who voted for Trump as a reason for not to vote liberals for, that they were criticizing the left for, Trump has superseded some. This is a good example. How awful the Obama deal was one of them. We were not respected. We were being laughed at on the world stage. So we had to get rid of these liberals and put Trump in. This, if the Trump supporters do not criticize how bad this looks, this is where, to me, it separates the men from the cult followers. If you still are suggesting that somehow, some way, this deal is better than Obama's, which MAGA reactions in the comments doing, I got to end up hearing from him. But I don't see anything. Let me ask you, even playing devil's advocate, do you see anything in this that's better than the JCPOA?
No, Tim, and you know me, I read it. If I thought there was something, not only is this far worse, it actually is even more concerning. Because do we think that we haven't radicalized more?
Oh hell yeah! All of them dads of those schoolgirls.
Right now, there's nothing in here about defunding Hezbollah or the Houthis. None of that shit's in here, right? We're giving them more assets to use. They're gonna, and we just showed other regions of resources how to handle the U.S. You don't have to have the military might. You have to have the ability to control resources.
Well, most of the countries, fortunately, most countries cannot hurt us economically like Iran. Because real quick before we continue, Evil says, "Hey Tim, let Mike know that he is wonderful and great shit right now. Everybody should know that wonderful job. Let me get Mario 2 times. Also, Obama deal was better." I don't see anything about this deal that Trump is implementing. Thank you, Evil. I don't see anything about this that Trump beat Obama on. Not one of these bullet points. I see where Trump, like I said, Iran's going to walk away from this significantly wealthier than they were, or that they walked away from Obama. Only bad thing is people lost folks they care about. I mean, obviously the leader of Iran lost his dad and schoolgirls. And so people did die. But in terms of how it looks for America versus Iran, would it be wrong to say we got our ass kicked in this?
Tim, I told you this was coming weeks ago. Hey, listen, that's another point I've been spot on. I told you this is walking away. That's what this is. This is walking away, right? Because
that's
he
what
was never going to. Yeah, this is walking the fuck away. This was never about turning them into glass. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. And real quick, real talk with the Galaxy. Were you? Thank you. Or are you trying to bring somebody? No, I mean, look, I agree with you, Mike. To me, this reminds me of the January 6th pardons, where as opposed to going through each individual, Trump just said, "Fuck it, let them all out." That's what, to me, it looks like he grew tired of this war and just told his people, "Fuck it, make a deal, get us out of this damn region. Just do whatever it takes to get us out." That's the way I look at it. He just said, "Fuck it, get us out of here."
Thanks, Real Talk. I appreciate that, man. No, Tim, that's what this thing is. And I know Alter Ego in the comments. I'm not mad that listen, this entire time, Donald Trump said that we had to do this. No other president had done it. 47 years, all of that bullshit. And now he's looking up going, "Oh, it's not as easy as he thought." So the bully tried to bully somebody, and he's finding out that he has to get out of this now. The longer he stays into this, the worse it gets. There's no victory for Trump here.
So then let me ask you. He said several times that Cuba is next. Do you think he will follow through on that?
I mean, he might. I mean, it would be. Listen, Tim. Sometimes you got to just take your hat and your coat and get the fuck out, right? And just stop. I don't think that the American people see. I think he's made any legitimate potential conflict even worse. Who's going to trust him, right? Yeah. And now here's the other part. We got to be very. I'm going to say it right now. The fact that him and Bibi are having a dispute publicly now, that's not a good thing. But I'm telling you, it's more a problem for Trump than it is for Israel.
How?
I'm gonna tell you. If we believe, and I don't get into this part, but if we believe that somehow, and you've heard people say it on this app about TK and who was really responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Those people won't be very happy with this shit.
You're talking about the Mossad. You sound like Denkow.
I'm just telling you to listen, Tim.
You don't really let me say you, because you and Denkow said the same thing. You don't really think that there could be a position where Israel is so upset with the actions of Donald Trump that they do something vengeful. Is that what you're trying to indicate? Because that's what Denkow said.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tim, listen, they can't. With Donald Trump coming out and saying that out loud, what he's also telling that region is that the U.S. may or may not be there. They may or may not be there for Israel.
But
And
shit,
if
come on now, look. To me, it's like telling your boy, when you was homeless last week, I gave you a place to stay. I let you use my car. I gave you a reference to get a job and all that. How you gonna trip because I told you no this one time? We've allowed Israel to completely flatten Gaza. Gaza's about to as close to a real world example as you'll ever get of bombing somebody to the Stone Age. They've encroached into Lebanon. I mean, they've expanded their territory. They even fucked with the West Bank, and the West Bank was not even in on this shit. Like we've looked out for you like crazy. You to calm it down right now. You gonna forget all of the shit we did for you over the last 3. We let you go rampant because of October 6th or 7th or whatever it is. We let you get more get back than we got on September 11th. Like, okay, you need to chill at this point, dude. You're killing too many people. Like Trump just said, you're taking down whole apartment complexes because one dude went up in there. You gotta chill. You think they would still be vengeful from all of that?
Absolutely, because there is no honor amongst thieves. That's number one.
Oh God.
Number two, Trump is transactional, just like Bibi. See, Tim, listen. Trump is only saying that to protect himself.
Yeah.
He's only saying that because he understands the climate here in the U.S. and around the world, and eventually and he's watching because you can only manipulate the markets for so long, and we're at that demarcation right now. We're at that demarcation where you can't hokey pokey us out of this crisis. You have to do something.
I mean,
and
Israel has gained so much because of Trump. Okay, now he's telling you to stop. Israel is in a far better place due to Trump than they were before Trump. Even Biden wasn't going to let them run this rampant. I mean, like,
absolutely.
So how the hell are you going? I'm just asking you to stop at this point. You're fucking me up with my own people. I let you do whatever you needed to do for 2 solid years. I need you to just chill for a minute.
Because that wasn't what they agreed upon behind closed doors. He agreed to let him. You remember when he's talking about God, let him finish the job. Bibi's gone.
That was Gaza, though. That wasn't the Middle East. He said he's going to let him finish the job in Gaza. He didn't say you could take over the whole damn region.
But Tim, that was always his plan. That's always been Bibi's plan. The last 30 years has been his plan to take over the region with our support. He finally found a mark in Donald Trump to help him do it. And now Donald Trump knows right now it's gone too far. We've got to back out. He let Bibi convince him that we were just going to run through them motherfuckers. He couldn't do it with any other president because they were smart. They have smart people around them. That's why it never happened. But see, we have a cacostocracy in the White House and a bunch of people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is what happens when you're surrounded by yes people. This is what happens right here. And he's got himself to a point where he's like, shit. Tim, when you read the 14 points in detail, we can't touch Lebanon. In order for we can't touch Lebanon anymore.
So, but let me ask you, and thank you, Twisted, for that graphic there. I appreciate that Twisted Sonic. Let me ask it to you this way then. Considering that Iran is certainly on the top end of this deal, do you think this is going to hold? Because Iran is getting so much, I can't see where they would go against this new deal. It's so beneficial to them. So, do you think this peace or do you think this ceasefire is going to hold?
The only way it holds or doesn't hold is all on Bibi right now. That's why Trump came out and said it out loud. He's looking for somebody to lay blame. And don't be surprised if the U.S. stands pat if Israel keeps it the fuck up. Don't be surprised. Now, I do believe, and I've said this from the very beginning, and I think it started with Putin. We haven't talked about Putin in months. I think it all started with Putin. I've also always believed that Putin got access to those e-files, and I believe that he would leverage them with Bibi and with any of these nations to keep Donald Trump.
It ain't gonna matter, Mike. But Mike, I just gave the whole spiel. I don't think the
you can say that if you want to. Again, those other files that aren't released, if those files come out, there's a problem. But beyond that, it doesn't even matter if you believe it doesn't matter. If Trump believes it does, they hold this and use this as leverage. He fucked up. He's got us out here He's got the U.S. in a bad position. These other countries that he was talking about, they're not, because they called it an investment. What are they getting in return? They're not getting anything in return for this, Tim.
No, not that I see. But unless the e-files get released when Trump is a citizen again, as long as he's president, that shit is going nowhere.
I told you I told you from the very beginning, Tim. Whether it goes to whether it does or it doesn't, it doesn't matter if somebody can use it for leverage to control you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going to happen if you believe that it's better not to come out than it is to come out.
Yeah.
Right? That's like if you cheating and you got a side chick and she's like, I got video of us. At some point in time, either you're gonna have to say, fuck it, let it out there, and I'll just deal with it.
You sure jogging some terrible memories. Anyway, I gotta move it on. But I'm just gonna tell you though. Eventually, it might be posthumously for Trump, but eventually we will get to the bottom. Just like we got to the bottom of the whole Nixon thing with Deep Throat. It might be years from now, but eventually everything that's in those Epstein files, everybody that was abused, everybody that was an abuser, we will find out. They say what's done in the dark will come to the light. That won't be redacted forever. We will find that out eventually.
I understand. Let me say this, and you can let me go. If you go back and look at Donald Trump speaking today, just don't look at Donald Trump. Look at Marco Rubio. Just look at Marco Rubio.
Because that man has political aspirations going all the way to the top. And as long as he stay connected to this shit, it's affecting his chances of winning. He got to answer for all this stuff if he runs for president.
Man, let me tell you, I guarantee you his thoughts is far beyond running for president. That motherfucker's worried about being indicted. Oh. Marco Rubio, listen, Tim, this is far.
He's going to get pardoned. He's probably got a pocket pardon already.
Even if he gets pardoned, his political career is a wrap. Yeah. You think he's thinking about his political future right now?
That's the only thing I think that's at risk. Because like I said, he's got a pardon. He's going to get pardoned, so it's no criminal shit. It's going to be, maybe they go after some of his money. I don't think Marco Rubio is going to do a day in jail. Is that what you're trying to indicate?
No, what I'm saying that Marco Rubio standing on stage listening to Donald Trump say this shit, and he knows better. He knows that you can try to say this deal.
They all know better. Trump knows better.
It's terrible, Jim. Matter of fact, let me tell you this before you drop me. As soon as they sign this agreement, Iran can start moving shipments of oil out of the region, right?
Yeah.
They're going to make billions just in that.
Iran is going to make off like a bandit. I don't think anybody, even the MAGA side of the aisle, is going to disagree with that.
Well, listen, if you want to have fun, smoke you a J, pour you a drink, and listen to MAGA React try to squirm his way through this conversation.
We'll end up doing that without the J.
Please bring him up next. For the love of everything holy, bring the dumb motherfucker up next, because I want to hear this shit.
I want you to respect MAGA. I got to go. Tap the screen. We were trying to get to 85,000 bucks. You guys are lazy on the thumbs. Get your boy up to 90,000 likes. Shanti says, I can't deal with MAGA reacts. You don't like an opposing opinion, Shanti? Come on now. We can't always have liberals. MAGA needs to speak as well. We got to hear from the other side. This is free speech. We're MAGA friendly. We mean that. We say it every program. We don't block, ban, or censor. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie all the way to I'm having dinner with Q. By the way, if you're currently watching us live on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper, follow the program. If you're watching us live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. Trump didn't get a better deal. He launched a costly war only to accept deeply compromised framework that leaves the Iranian regime richer, safer, strategically stronger than before the fighting. I think that actually sums it up perfectly. I hate to, look, for all of the fuss that Obama's deal got, it's crazy that you would come home with this shit. It's like literally, I stayed at your house last week and you're bitching that you saw a couple roaches in your crib after I left. Now you came and stayed at my house and there's a fucking lion in the basement? Like, it's that different. It is that different. I don't understand how MAGA don't see how bad this looks. And thank you for the graphic. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name. I'll just say Creek X. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. But I mean, like, it's just crazy how bad this deal is looking. I mean, you just essentially gave the Iranian government enough money to buy nuclear weapons. Literally enough money to just go ahead and buy this shit. Fuck it. I mean, we promised, we did promise we was never going to make it. We didn't make it. We just happened to look at the money you were getting. We went out and bought it. We didn't make anything. We didn't violate the agreement. We went out and bought this shit thanks to the money you gave us. A grizzly bear in the backyard. Yeah, something like that. Like, this is crazy how bad we lost in this, in my opinion, at least. Looking, nothing about the deal, retards. We do know about the deal. It's all over cable news outlets. You got a hell of a lot of right-wing politicians even saying we got our asses kicked in this. If you're trying to make this deal out somehow that America won, like I said, this is where you separate the men from the coat. If you're trying to look at this deal now and indicate somehow, some way that we came out on top, that is crazy. Somebody said the lion in the house analogy. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, like, this is crazy that we're walking away after complaining about the $1.7 billion that Obama gave them. And this dude done made a way for them to get $300 billion. I've talked to MAGA throughout the day, and they're, everything from, well, he didn't give them the money, it's coming from Saudi Arabia, or it's their money. And by the way, when Obama gave them the money, it was their money as well. MAGA was trying to say that it was coming from U.S. taxpayers. That money that Obama gave them was their money that had been frozen. But MAGA wanted to make it sound like it was U.S. taxpayer money. I don't give a fuck where the money came from. As I said earlier in the program, if at the end of the day I walk away with $300 million, even if it used to be my own money that I had no access to, I got $300 million more than I had before Trump became president. So I don't care where the money comes from. It's a benefit to Iran. There's no other way to look at it. Going back to the box, the man of the hour that came highly recommended, it is indeed the one and only MAGA Reacts. Good evening, MAGA.
Tim, what's going on?
Yeah, now I gotta find out. You're telling me this is better than Obama's deal. Explain.
Well, first of all, the deal's not done yet. We gotta see what the final results are. But I think it's better because this time they got their ass kicked. They have a fucking, they lost their Navy. They lost their fucking anything that we could fucking blow up. We blew up. I mean, they probably lost a lot more than the $300 billion they're getting.
I mean, did anybody expect their military? First of all, them getting a nuclear bomb has nothing to do with their military. We never were concerned with their military being dangerous. You blew up something that was not even a concern to most Americans.
But you're asking who came up on top, and this deal being made after an ass whooping, it makes it a lot more fucking concrete than the last deal, which. We didn't do shit.
Why do you say it's more concrete?
Americans, and we fucking signed that last deal.
You're saying this deal. What makes you say this deal is more concrete than the Obama deal?
Because they know they're gonna get fucking blown up again. They know that that we're gonna show up and fucking blow them up if they fucking
MAGA. Wait, hold on. MAGA, they've known Trump said I'm gonna make a whole civilization die tonight, and they didn't bow down. They've known they're gonna get blown up from day one, and they haven't been bowing down. Why do you think in the future they're gonna bow down? They've shown us you can threaten us all you want.
It makes the deal more effective.
Why? That doesn't make sense.
It's called, you heard the term carrot and stick. I know I've been saying it for a while, but you know what I mean when I say
but the way you're using it makes no sense. You're trying to make it sound like this deal is more. I'm explaining to you. Now we're giving them the carrot. No, what you're trying to suggest is they're more likely to adhere to this deal than the Obama deal because they're afraid that we may blow them up. And my point is, we've been at war with them for 4 months. They have not shown one inkling of an iota that they're afraid of us attacking them. Not once have they shown that.
You're saying they didn't suffer at all because of all the shit we blew up and everything we did. They're just having a good time right now.
No.
If they're so good, why are they even signing this deal?
No, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't suffer. Some people can handle suffering. I had a viewer on yesterday.
It doesn't mean they're gonna forget it. Doesn't mean it's not effective.
They did. It didn't.
Like going to prison.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It didn't work during the war, but you think it's going to work in the future. You really think they're afraid of the United States bombing them after all you've seen over the last 3-4 months? You think they're afraid of that?
Just saying, it's not a good time. Even though they didn't fucking cry uncle, it still hurt them.
What else did we get? This is crazy. What else? Give me something else.
A lot better after the stick.
I think what you're saying is
carrots. They're not gonna fucking. They're just gonna keep misbehaving.
I think what you're saying is crazy on that. Give me some other reason why you say we won, other than the thought that Iran is afraid of us bombing them in the future.
Again, I don't know yet. We'll find out. If they can't centrifuge, if they're not allowed to centrifuge any fucking nuclear material, it's a win.
Wasn't that the same under the Obama administration?
And they're able to use them.
Wait, under the Obama administration, they were not allowed, under the JCPOA from Obama, they were not allowed to get a nuclear bomb. What's the difference now from then?
Well, no, but they had all the ingredients. They had the fucking nuclear material and they had the centrifuges. They had everything they needed. They're allowed to have them. This time, if they're not allowed to have a centrifuge and they're not allowed to have nuclear material, it's a win. That's all I care about. I really don't. And then as far as the money, I don't really care about Iran getting money. I want them to be fucking capitalist. I want them to make money. I just don't want them funding terrorists.
It's interesting you guys say that now.
Biden and Obama gave them is like we can clearly see the next day it went to fund.
You really think giving them $300 million, they're not going to fund any terrorism now?
I mean, if they do, they're going to get hit by the stick. It's going to violate the deal, and they're going to get hit by the stick, and they know how that feels now. Before, they didn't know how the fucking stick felt.
Real talk.
Even though you can take the pain, it's still fucking getting hit.
Real talk in the comments is saying to ask you, is Iran getting more money than that Obama deal? I think the answer is obvious, but do you agree that?
I mean, I don't know yet, because this is all fucking. I mean,
you don't know if they're getting. You don't know. You don't know if they're getting more than 1.7 billion that they got from Obama. You don't know if they're getting more than that.
I mean, I don't know what it means, that money, where it's going to come from. We don't even know who's going to pay
it.
What it means.
Who cares where it comes from? They're getting the money. Who cares where? They're getting money that they didn't have.
Getting the money mean? Us building a building is not them fucking getting the money. It depends how the money is spent and how it's used. Again, as long as it doesn't fund terrorism and doesn't hurt us in any way, that's all I care about. That money, Biden and Biden probably gave, you forget Biden gave them like 14. I want to say they gave him like 20 billion on his own. Because I remember he did it twice. Well, I think one was 7 and one was like 14 billion when Biden did it. 300. And he says it was only going toward food or some bullshit. Even though, like, the next day you could see Hezbollah and all these fucking terrorists.
I thought you were going to come with something better than this. Your best pitch is that Iran is now afraid of America bombing them in the future after all the shit we just did. You think they haven't shown any instance of that?
Do you know how the carrot and the stick work? Like, I don't know why that concept is so difficult for you to understand.
Because you're trying to use a carrot and a stick on a cow that don't like carrots. It ain't working, is what I'm saying. You're trying to make it sound like
the money is the carrot. No. Why are you bitching about the carrot?
Because you didn't say the money.
I'm talking to you.
You didn't say the money. You're trying to indicate
what do you think the carrot is? What the fuck do you think the carrot is?
You're trying to tell me they're afraid of us bombing them. I think that is insane.
Yeah, that's the stick. What do you think the carrot is? What is the carrot if it's not money?
The stick is what's not working. It ain't the carrot. It's the stick.
They work together. And even the stick works. It just doesn't fucking kill them. It didn't fucking KO them, but it still fucking hurts. It's not like they had a good time the last fucking 6 months.
Hezbollah, I don't think, to me, you sound like a Christian that don't, you sound like a Christian that don't.
You're a big dude, right? If I beat you with a stick, I'm not going to kill you, but guess what? It's still going to hurt. And then if I give you $1 million, I mean, you're going to be happy, but then would you give up that $1 million and let me beat you with a stick again by violating the deal you made?
I think you sound like a life-loving Christian that does not understand how things operate in that region. You seem to think that being potentially killed is going to make these people afraid and do other stuff. And they've shown you time and time again that bombing them and killing people is not going to change their actions. if you could just simply kill them, you wouldn't be worried about them getting a nuclear bomb because you would know that they're scared of you. They've shown you time in and time again. Same thing with Hezbollah. Same thing. Hold on. Same thing with Hezbollah. Same thing with Gaza. These people have shown you time in and time again that having superior firepower is not going to stop them from doing what they want to do. And here you are in 2026, like they're scared of us bombing them in the future.
That's why you have to have the carrot.
This is
you
insane.
fucking beat them up, and then you make them your best friend. And that's how you fucking turn them into fucking friends.
I thought you had something better than this. In the comments, Tim asked.
I mean, there's a lot more shit you could turn me up with.
To me, you're doing a terrible job, and I would give you credit if you were doing better. Billy Wop wants to ask you.
I mean, look, the main difference, the main two things I'm looking for is they don't fund terrorism. Hopefully, they don't kill their own people, and they don't have fucking.
Hopefully. Now we don't want for.
That one I'm flexible with.
So what do you just hopefully
the terrorists in the area and they don't fucking.
Why would you have any hope at all, considering it's not part of the deal that they're going to stop killing protesters? You're just going to hope that after all this shit you guys talked about no, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. After all the shit you guys talked about liberating them and they're going to see America's now we don't want all the way down. Well, we hope they don't kill them anymore. You're not going to do anything for the protesters at all but give them hope. What are they, kids getting shot in American schools now? Thoughts and prayers? That's all you got is hope?
That's what the carrot's for. The carrot makes them behave just as much as the stick. If they want that money, they have to behave.
I think you're crazy.
I mean, that's simple fucking shit. Carrot and stick. Like, I mean, I didn't invent this shit.
I hope they stop killing protesters. You could have done that without the war. You could have hoped without this.
People, which they did prove that they're same people because they want this deal. They didn't just fucking keep fighting until they die.
Wow. In the comments, Billy Wop says, why he wants to ask you, why didn't Trump send in ground troops? What's your opinion on that?
Because he fucking doesn't want Americans getting killed. He's doing this in the safest way possible. And he also didn't want Iranians getting killed.
So,
I mean, we could have blown up their fucking water. We could have blown them back into the Stone Age, blown up their power, blown up their hospitals. I mean...
So if your carrot and stick, if you're afraid to send in ground troops because you say you don't want Americans to get killed, then ain't that the stick? Now the stick is not even effective.
Well, luckily we're America, and we have many sticks, including missiles, including drones, including... Well, why don't we need to send in ground troops? That's repeating the mistakes of Iraq. I mean, that's like the number one mistake of Iraq that he was smart enough not to fucking repeat.
Was this war a success, in your opinion? Was this war a success?
I don't know yet. I gotta see the results. I mean, this is the shit that fucking Michael does. He predicts the future, and he predicts the future to his fucking, point
What
of
are
view.
you predicting? What are you predicting?
I'm not predicting shit. I'm telling you what would be a win. North Centrifuge. If we get North Centrifuge that they can't fucking process any nuclear material, that's a win. If they don't fucking use that money on terrorism, that's a win.
In the comments, Soldier Gift says he ate too many carrots. He's saying you've eaten too many carrots.
Exactly. Yeah. I got my ass beat when I was fucking little, and I got my fucking the carrots and the stick worked for me, and it works on a lot of people.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because we obviously talk, and I enjoy talking to you. Sometimes you come hard. Today I don't think you're coming hard, but I was really curious to hear how you were going to suggest that this was a better deal than Obama. I'll be honest with you, man. I really thought you were going to come with something more than this. I thought you were going to come with more than this.
This isn't even a deal. This is just a start.
But you stated in the comments this deal is better than Obama. You said that.
Yeah, because Obama deal was such shit. I mean, Obama deal, we just gave them money and they kept funding terrorism and they kept processing uranium. I mean, now they're fucking.
They didn't. There's no evidence. Well, first of all, there's no evidence that they kept processing uranium. So you're not even.
We know they did.
No, we don't know we did. No, we don't, because so what? So
They were allowed to. And
what did Tulsi Gabbard say? What did Tulsi Gabbard say? She
She said they
wrong?
weren't making a bomb. She didn't say they weren't processing uranium. We know they were. That's like one of the key reasons we went in. We know that they said it, and they said they took it to 60%. They were limited at like, I want to say 30% or some shit, and they took it to 60. I could be wrong about the exact number.
Well,
but
if I'm correct, Tulsi Gabbard said the opposite. And by the way, once she got out of the
she said
JCPOA,
bomb. She said nothing about the uranium or the centrifuges or anything.
do we have proof they were processing uranium while the JCPOA was active, or is that after Trump got rid of it and they had no longer had an obligation not to do it?
That's why the deal sucked. The deal said they could. The GCPOA said they could process uranium. They said they basically told them you can make all the ingredients to a bomb. You just don't build.
So
a
they
bomb.
could process uranium all the way up to weapons grade. You're saying that was in the JCPOA?
Not weapons grade. They could process it
to what level?
They say medical grade, but that's the part where I don't want them processing at all.
I'd have to see. I don't believe that.
Grade.
I don't believe that they gave them authorization to process it up to 60%, like you're indicating. I'd have to see some evidence.
No, it wasn't to 60. It was, I said 30, maybe less. I don't know the exact
Is there
number.
any evidence that they went above 30 even under the JCPOA?
How are we supposed to know? They're fucking
So if they didn't go above 30, then they didn't violate the agreement.
Well, they said they went to 60 in the after the agreement was
right. Where's the evidence
I don't feel comfortable them having a centrifuge.
Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence that they were violating the JCPOA?
I didn't say they were. I said the deal was so shitty that they were able to fucking process uranium under the deal. And we had their word and basically what the inspectors could fucking see that they didn't go above.
So you actually are admitting that they really were not violating the deal to any significant degree.
As far as we know, they didn't violate it. But the deal was so shitty. It let them.
So we went to war. So even though they were not doing anything wrong, we went to war because the deal was shitty. That's it. It was just a shitty deal. They weren't violating it though, and we went to war because of that.
Look, we went to war for many reasons, including they had.
What other reason? What other reason?
One, they had all the ingredients to the bomb. They just didn't make the bomb. They weren't. We don't know if they wanted to make a bomb or not, but we know they had all the parts, all the ingredients, all the tools.
No, we don't. They don't. They still don't have the parts. Even if they got up to 60%.
They have the centrifuge.
You said. No, you just stated there's no evidence to suggest they enriched uranium past 30%. If you don't have uranium enriched, you don't have the pieces. You don't have it. Your uranium is not at that level.
Uranium is a piece. You just have to fucking cook it. You know,
that's but it ain't cooked.
The steak, but
it ain't cooked. You're telling me they have the ability to get the pieces?
They had the fucking steak. They just didn't cook it all the way. They had it at rare. They didn't cook it too well done to make it a bomb.
I think I really wish you could have came with one. I got to move it on. I saw the Galaxy, but what'd you say?
Their centrifuges right now are under a fucking pile of rocks. We blew up their centrifuges. Their nuclear material is blown up and they can't get to it. So we at least know the centrifuges are buried and we have an eye on them. So that if they go dig them up, we'll know to fucking blow them up. So we didn't have that under the GCPOA. They had centrifuges working 24/7 making uranium.
You got a guest. Real talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real talk, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, so Macarena, I want to ask you a question, right? Or in case it be like that. When you said it was a crappy deal, when was the first time you heard that?
What do you mean? When he made the deal.
Okay, so when he
I remember the first time was what's his name? John Oliver.
I remember what was her name? Marsha Blackburn, when she was in there talking about something, she wanted to know what was in the deal or whatever the case is. So I remember Republicans were doing that. Well, what I'm saying is that all these countries that was involved, you know, like they say, like China or Russia, all these countries was involved. What other country besides us was saying it was like they was upgrading to weapons grade before Trump said it?
I didn't fucking say anything about that. I said they didn't upgrade to weapons grade. I just don't like the idea of them still having the fucking centrifuges and the fucking uranium.
Why not? Hold on, real talk. Why not try diplomacy to get the damn centrifuges? Why go straight to war? He's the guy with the art of the. He's the art of the deal guy.
I mean, how long? We got rid of the fucking GCPOA in what, 2018?
He's been threatening to kill them the whole time. He's never. In fact, he was in negotiation when he killed them all. He's never tried diplomacy.
Negotiating with them the entire time.
No, he hasn't.
I got something else, right? You were talking about the carrot and the stick. Now they know that they'll get hit or whatever the case may be like that.
They felt the stick and now they're gonna get a carrot.
Hold on. So with all that hitting that was going on, what did that hitting make them say? You know what? We just gonna open up the scrape. We don't want to be hit no more. You know, we just gonna go ahead and lay everything open. Or they stood their ground. Which one did they do? Why they ain't do it then?
Somewhere in between, because they're taking the deal, aren't they?
But no. Yeah, they taking the deal. They taking the deal. Okay, look. Check this out.
We go out of fucking.
So let me say this. So let me say this right here. I let you hit me in my face and I stood on my feet. But I wasn't going to sit there and say I don't want to fight no more until you was going to pay me all this money. Now, once you pay me all this money, I already done showed you I stand on my feet. Now, you play with me again after I get this money. How about that?
Well, I'm not going to give you all the money at once. I'm going to give it to you little at a time. And if you want to keep getting money...
They're not getting the money little at a time. They're not getting the money little at a time, Naga. That's not happening.
They're going to get the money little at a
No,
time.
they're not.
We'll see then. We'll see. I can't predict the future.
Okay, so why did Trump? Did you see Trump talking at the G7 when he was asked about getting the uranium up out of there? Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, that is buried. That we have eyes on it.
No, what he said, brother. He said, it ain't. He put a money number on it. I was confused about that, dude. But he put a money number on it. He said, well, it's not really a big deal. That's how he played it. But wasn't that supposed to be the goal, though?
Honestly, I care more about the centrifuges than the uranium. Uranium is all over fucking Iran, from what I understand.
When Trump first started, did he not talk about total surrender?
Yep.
Okay. So?
Is they doing total surrender right now?
No, they're not. And now
so it keeps changing, right? So
we also have to behave ourselves. It's not like we could go
behave
to war on their ass.
Behave ourselves? No, we talking about wiping out the whole civilization.
We didn't blow up their power. We try not to kill any of them. We mostly
the
blew up military targets.
The kids, the 100-some kids.
That was a goddamn accident. They blew up 4 buildings.
How was it an accident if he's blaming? How was it an accident if he's blaming?
One of them.
He said the Iranians did it. How was it an accident?
Look, they blew up 4 buildings next to each other, and then the one building ended up being a school. So
why didn't we restrain ourselves then and say, you know what, we're out here making mistakes, we're taking our kids, we need to stop, and like Mr. Tim said, and let Jack try to do some diplomacy instead of going ahead and keep hitting these people. Why we ain't do that restraining of what you was talking about earlier?
We did a mix of both.
That's
the whole point of
we
the
didn't do
carrot
any diplomacy. We didn't do any diplomacy.
And then you offer them a carrot.
You see, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, my brother. Or case should be like that, because we had a long little conversation in the comments the other day. I just think that what you need to do is just say, you know what, I ride with Trump, and no matter what it is, I'm gonna be on his side because you change it. You change
what the line is. We did talk in the comments, and I told you what the line is. The centrifuge is the line, and money on terrorism.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. You talk about that. What's in this current deal right now that's gonna make sure that they don't fund terrorism? Make sure that they gonna get all that up out of there. What's in this deal right now?
I mean, it says there's no fucking fighting all over the area. That's including
the Obama deal said that, brother. Bad Obama deal. That Obama deal said that.
But we knew they were funding terrorism and killing Americans at the same time.
So I'm asking you again, what's in the deal? What's in the deal besides what was said in the Obama bad deal that Trump put in this deal that's gonna guarantee that they don't do that?
We'll find out in 60 days.
Oh my God! All right, Tim, I'm good, man.
All right, real talk. Yeah. Real talk,
What do
thank
you-
you. MAGA,
my
I gotta move it on, but
Take care.
300 million, I don't get it. I thought he was gonna come with something better than that. I gotta apologize to my audience. I like to have a spirited debate. Listen, I bring up MAGA all day, every day. I enjoy talking to MAGA. MAGA reacts to my last guest and other MAGA. I enjoy talking to MAGA, period. But trying to make this deal out to be better than Obama's, you really, because there are Republicans all over cable news outlets this afternoon saying this deal is worse. People who normally would defend Trump, this is bad. It's not even close enough where you can kind of spin it. It's just really bad compared to Obama's deal. To the point where my last guest was trying to say it was better, but even most of the things he was saying was, well, I hope this happens, and I got to see that first. So all of the victories and stuff that might happen in the future, I mean, it's bad. It's terrible compared to Obama's deal. He's all the way down to, well, let's get rid of the centrifuges at least. What about all the stated original objectives? This was all about them smoking protesters, and Trump even posted on Truth Social that if they do this again, we're going to start bombing. Now they're not even talking about the protesters at all. Just imagine with all of the folks they were showing, all the Iranians that were being shown on right-wing programs, talking about how they didn't like their government. Some of them were indicating they would certainly rise up if America came over there and helped them. Them people may now be arrested and killed because of that shit. America, this is very similar to, you guys let me know in the comments if I'm getting this wrong, but to me, this sounds very similar to the whole Desert Storm, Desert Shield, where we convinced some of the citizens of Iraq to rise up against Saddam Hussein, and then we left them hanging, and then Saddam Hussein killed them all. They expected the United States to help them out, to help them rise up against an evil dictator. They took our advice, rose up, and we left them, and they got slaughtered by Saddam Hussein, which is why you heard his son from George H.W. to George W. Bush going in there years later talking about Saddam Hussein is killing his own people. Yeah, because those people listen to you. Those people listened to you, rose up against this dude, and now he's slaughtering them all because you didn't help him. That's what this sounds like. Now, some of them Iranians that don't believe that Trump was going to come over there and help them, some of them probably going to end up getting jailed, becoming political prisoners, or maybe even lose their lives behind this shit. Because the right in Trump indicated that we're going to come over there and you're going to see us as liberators and shit like that. He ain't doing a fucking thing for those people. It's not even part of the agreement we're having with them now. Just left them folks hanging. Literally, that's probably what's going to end up happening to some of them. Just left them hanging like that. That's terrible. Anyway, tap the screen and get the likes up to 115,000. Help your boy out with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes. Follow the program if you're watching on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper. Give us a sub if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah, trust them and get what you get. True. To me, and this doesn't just go with Trump. I think internationally, because we were talking about, Iran, largest state sponsor of terror. Do you trust this country? I don't see why people trust America. I just don't. I know it may sound unpatriotic to say that. God bless any country that continues trusting us. Our lengthy history, going all the way back to what we did to the Native Americans when we first got here. It's just been breaking promise and treaty after breaking promise and treaty. I do not understand why our countries continue falling for that shit. Like, wow. At what point do you say your history? I mean, look, the Iranians trusted us under the Obama deal. Boom, Trump comes in, this is a dumb deal, I'm going to break it. And now you're going to make a deal with the dude who broke the last dude's deal. If I'm Iran, I'm asking Trump, how do we know the next president after you is not going to look at the deal we're making right now and think it's a dumb deal and break your deal just like you broke the last guy's deal? I just don't understand why these countries keep trusting America. I don't understand it. Like, how much of this shit do you need to see? Tap the screen. I mean, look, we come across as one of the most dishonest countries there is. I mean, you think some of the women in Afghanistan thought that they were going to be free and on a path towards equality, only to have Trump get a country back to the Taliban. All that oppression is happening in that country now again as well. All of that stuff's happening again. I just don't understand it. I mean, we're not leaving these countries better. We're going in there to get what we want to get, to help us out, and then we bounce. And oftentimes when we bounce, all the people that worked with us end up getting slaughtered. Trump's administration right now is in the process of deporting Afghan nationals that worked as interpreters and spies and all that shit with the American soldiers that were over there. Some of them folks came to America after working with the United States, and Trump is trying to deport them back to Afghanistan. What the fuck you think is going to happen to them? So the Taliban is waiting at the border for these folks to get off the plane. What do you think is going to, you'll never see those people again. I mean, I just don't understand why these folks keep trusting us. It just makes no sense to me. Looking in the comments, Tim, you're exactly right. Look what happened to Libya. Yeah, I mean, it's country after country after country after country. It's just continuing to happen. You heard Trump suggest that Venezuela was flooding America with fentanyl. Once he got access to that country, changed the leader, stole a cargo vessel full of crude oil, have you heard him mention anything about controlling fentanyl anymore since that? It's not like Venezuela is the fentanyl capital of the world. You haven't heard him say anything else about fentanyl at all. He got into that country, did what he needed to do to get what he wanted, used fentanyl as an excuse, and the fentanyl trade is just as strong as it ever was. You ain't heard nothing else from him about fentanyl anymore. Only deporting Afghan immigrants with criminal issues. Look, to me, even what you're suggesting, and I don't believe it's just only Afghan national immigrants with criminal issues. I believe any Afghan that does not have official citizenship is not safe under Trump. I don't think you're making it sound like. I'll just tell you this. In my opinion, once you have served on behalf of this country in the military, you should be above deportation. Look, if once you have served in the U.S. military, if you commit a crime, you should be treated just like an American that committed that crime. If it's murder, throw your ass in prison for murder or whatever the punishment that state has. But once a person has put their life on the line and served this country in the military, you should be guaranteed by doing that a right to stay here. And that at that point, punishing for their crimes is normal. But deporting folks that have served in the military could easily be a death sentence at that point. Because now you're going to deport them back to other countries where they don't been considered as traitors from. I think that's horrible. I have supported your show for a long time. I would like to see you put on the MAGA hat. Handsome conservative, you're asking a bit much right now. The hat doesn't fit. Jeez, conservative, you trying to hit me below the belt? We took the leader, he wasn't cooperating. We put a agreeable leader in Venezuela for oil deals. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Had nothing to do with fentanyl. What we did in Venezuela had nothing to do with fentanyl. We just bombed a few boats to make a point, to get. Look, Trump is smart enough to do things that pull at your heartstrings that make you get behind what he's talking about. I mean, we can get behind getting rid of fentanyl. We can get behind deporting rapists and murderers. We can get behind helping free Iranians that are being killed as protests. Those are things we can get behind. So he's telling you stuff that you can get behind when that has nothing to do with what he's actually doing. So you give him your support, then he gets in there and he goes completely away from what he told you he was there for. All of those things, none of that stuff happened. Continuing on with Chloe. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Bro, how could you not know he allowed the opposition leader to take interim power until elections are held? Huh? I don't know what you're getting at with that. Tap the screen, get us up to 120,000. Chloe, good evening.
Tim, this is God shows me you blocked me by mistake when you blocked the guy that said he was reporting your live.
Oh, shit. I didn't see.
This happened to me twice. This is the second time it happened to me today when I tried to comment because I was like, I said something to him about, why are you going to block him or something like that. So I think when you comment on somebody that's being blocked, You get blocked too.
Oh, damn. I
Can you
apologize.
unblock me, Tim, please?
Okay. This is who again, Shanti?
No, Goddess Yasmin. This is my dog's page.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
Goddess.
Send me in the after the show. I'll look you up and make sure.
I did
Okay.
message you.
My
as well.
apologies. My apologies. I don't like. Listen, I don't ever like to block, censor, or ban anybody. But the guy was spamming over and over
No,
again.
I get it, and that's why I responded to him and said, "Why are you reporting him or something?" And I think now when you say something to somebody that's being blocked, you get blocked too.
Oh, well, I'll certainly
That
unblock
happened
you.
twice too. This is the second time it happened to me today, or whatever. With somebody else live, it happened too when they were. She blocked them, it blocked me, and I just reached out to somebody and she unblocked me.
Okay,
So
well,
that
I'll
may be
certainly
you guys.
correct that. I'll correct it right after the show. Like I said, I hate even having to censor or block anybody, but spammers, they prevent other people from putting comments in. You can say any damn thing you want about me. I don't mind the criticism, but to type it 100 times and prevent everybody else from talking, you don't leave me any option in that case. So that person got blocked when I wasn't trying to block you.
I know you weren't. I know it was a mistake or whatnot, but I don't want to be blocked. I don't want to be blocked, and I don't use her page, my dog's page like this or whatnot.
All
So
right.
thank you. I'll
Okay.
talk to you later.
All right,
Great show.
that's Goddess what again? That's Goddess what again?
Yasmin.
Goddess.
You got it. Yasmin. Yasmeen. Goddess Yasmin.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, my dog has a TikTok. My dog has everything.
Your dog has a TikTok. Oh my goodness.
She has her own room. She has a lot of stuff.
All right, fair enough.
She's a princess.
I can't argue with it. I cannot argue with a goddess. I appreciate you coming through. I'll certainly fix that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tim. All right, bye.
Anytime. All right. Tap the screen. Get us up on the likes. You guys know what I'm asking. It ended today, and 3 days later, we need more oil for my rich buddies. Well, listen, if the price of oil goes back down into the twos, I think you probably will get some folks. Because, listen, most of America did not favor us being in war with Iran to begin with. Most of America was not a fan of that at all, other than MAGA, because a lot of MAGA is going to favor Trump no matter what he does. Because you just heard somebody on here now talking about the deal is better than Obama's deal. MAGA's going to ride with Trump no matter what. But outside of MAGA, liberals, independents, and just traditional Republicans, they weren't a fan of us being at war with Iran to begin with. Because they didn't think the war was necessary. And the cost for an unnecessary war was the price of goods and services like gas going up in America. So most Americans were not a fan of it. So if we can end the war with Iran and affordability somewhat returns to normal in the country, a lot of folks are going to be happy with that. But for Trump, in my opinion, or not for Trump necessarily, but for Republicans in the midterms, it's so close. It's going to be hard to get people to forget this that quickly. And look, Trump will try. There's always a news story. Trump is probably the best we've ever seen at getting you to look over here so you stop looking over there, because he delivers so much in any given news day. But the memory is going to be short-lived. I mean, what is this, June? The 6th month? The midterms are in the 11th. So we're only 5 months, less than 5 months. So 4 months and some odd days from the midterms. It's only 4 months away. And that's crazy considering we're in the middle of summer and that's almost winter. But yeah, this is June, the 6th month. Yeah, 4 months and a little bit less than 5 months. That's how close the midterms are. And I see in the comments, Blue One Banks points out Trump said Cuba is next. That won't be good for Trump in the midterms at all. Whatever he has in store for Cuba, if I'm advising Trump, I would just tell him, you still will have 2 years of your presidency to do that shit. There's nothing stopping you from invading Cuba in January or December. I would strongly suggest you wait till after the midterms before you do that. Just my opinion. The Republicans are already hurting from this Iran war and some of your other stuff. Do not start another military conflict, not to mention we're short on weapons and all kinds of shit. Don't start another military conflict before the midterms. That's crazy. 100% unnecessary, by the way. I don't think there's anybody in America that thinks we need to take on Cuba. That is 100% optional. There's nobody afraid of Cuba right now. Looking in the comments, he says, do it for your beloved MAGA. Handsome conservative, what are you drinking today? You think we need weapons to take on Cuba? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. What are you going to just land on the ground and say hand over Castro when nobody's got a gun or anything? Yeah, you're going to need some weapons. There's going to be some, I mean, look, there's going to be some people that are going to fight back. There were people that fought back in Venezuela. It was a cakewalk, but they had to kill people in Venezuela to get Maduro out of there. People had to die for that. Yeah, there's going to be, and I think Cuba's a little bit more stronger than Venezuela. Probably not much, but you're going to have to kill people to get the Castros out too. They know we're not coming there on their best behalf. They've seen what happened to Venezuela. They know what happened to Iran. They've been living in the dark because we've stopped energy from coming to their country for almost 2 months. They know we're not liberators. That liberation bullshit is played. They know we're not coming there to Cuba to act on their best behalf. You got plenty of the real world examples from Trump at this point. So yeah, they probably would fight back. I mean, it ain't like he ain't killing them already anyway. Looking in the comments, we are on TikTok, Instagram, Substack, and Clapper. That's how you dial in, sir. All of those are free. Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, Substack. You can call in free on all those. Trump is owned by Russia. Iran is Putin's friend. Qatar is Putin's friend. Trump was supposed to destabilize the U.S. on all fronts. He was supposed to destabilize the U.S. Wow. On all fronts, economic, military readiness, and domestic civil rights. I don't know if he was supposed to do that, but he is doing it. He has destabilized America on all of those fronts. You think that was the goal? Yikes. Going to the bar. I never could understand why Trump became president and started chopping and cutting off so much stuff, firing so many Americans. It does look like he has some kind of ordained mission to destroy the country. I mean, I don't see how we greatly benefited by firing all those federal employees. I don't see where we're benefiting by getting rid of USAID or any of this stuff. I mean, everything from EPA and Forest Services, I don't see how we benefited from any of this stuff. It does look like he came in. It almost looks like, a guy breaks into the cockpit with the goal of taking down the whole airplane. He jumps in the co-pilot seat. He just started hitting switches, just doing whatever it takes to take the airplane down. That is what it looks like Trump did. Just go in there and start destroying shit. It does look like that, because I haven't seen any benefit. Some of that really disruptive shit he's done, I haven't seen how we've benefited from that. Getting rid of the Board of Education and all, trying to tear apart the Board of Education and all this stuff. I don't see where we've benefited from any of that stuff. Maybe I'm missing some. Dark, what does that say is dark something in the comments? We'll bring him up. He campaigned on vengeance, says Billy White. Vengeance is one thing, and he did campaign on being your president of retribution, but going after your enemies, which I think is wrong and divisive too, but that's different than going in there and just destroying the fabric of how the country is ran. Getting rid of whole organizations that's been around damn near since the beginning of time. All of these federal organizations and not replacing them with anything. I don't understand why he done that. MAGA was cheering that shit on. I don't know. What do you think the purpose of getting rid of all these federal organizations is? I mean, they were cheering all that shit. Getting rid of scientists and shit. I still don't understand that. Tearing apart the FAA and all of this made no sense to me. You're not smart enough to see how we benefited from Trump. Well, Rick, you can tell me. He's been in office almost 2 years. Tell me some of these benefits. Tell me how cheap your groceries are now. He promised to bring them down on day one. Tell me how much less you're paying for gas than you were under Biden. He said he was going to cut all that. He said he was going to cut rent prices. He's going to cut your energy bills in half in the first 12 months of office. Help me out. I'll play idiot. Help me out. You're smart enough to tell me. Tell me all the benefits, sir. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 135,000. Is draining the swamp. What the fuck is that? What is the swamp? Do you have to be a Democrat to be a swamp creature? Because he's pardoned so many white-collar criminals. I mean, I just played a clips of you folks, and I'll give it to you again because there's a lot of new folks in here. This guy is running for U.S. senator. He's already a senator down in Georgia, but he's running for re-election. I want you to listen to this. And while you're listening to it, think about that comment of draining the swamp.
Just listen to this. Last September, the president of Kazakhstan calls Donald Trump and says he wants to grant tungsten mining rights to an American company. And the very next month, Eric and Don Jr. get a stake in the American company pursuing the mining deal. 6 days later, 6 days after Prince Eric and Prince Don get their stake, Kazakhstan announces this company will get, quote, the largest known undeveloped tungsten resource in the world. A few more weeks go by. And then the US government, run by their father, sets aside 1.6 billion of your tax dollars to fund and finance their mining project in Kazakhstan. All this while you pay more for gas, for groceries, for healthcare. And that
Tell me about this swamp being drained. If Biden was doing this shit, Burisma, Hunter Biden, 10% to the big guy. If Biden was doing this same shit, he would be a swamp creature. His son, Hunter Biden, would be a swamp creature. Tell me about this draining the swamp shit. I'm not hearing it. I'm hearing that he is literally in the swamp, helping creatures survive and thrive. Tell me where, and by the way, in the comments, Crystal Vision asks, who is this dude I'm showing? This is Senator, he's a U.S. Senator of Georgia, John Ossoff. He's a Democrat, but he is a U.S. Senator in Georgia. So he's running for re-election. So he's a senator. Do you think what he's saying is false? You can let me know in the comments. Do you think what he is saying is false about this? Because the Trump administration is not denying this. The Trump administration is not saying this is not true. He's campaigning on this for senator. Tanaj says, ask Alexa, deaths expected from USA cuts. Last I heard, it was about 60,000. I know it's a lot. When you're cutting essentials to third world nations, people are going to die. It's no denying that. I mean, if we're giving them wheat, rice, grain, these are remember the old Sally Struther commercials you see, USA for Africa, the kids are laying their bloated bellies and they got flies all over their faces. We're just giving them the essentials to survive. Stuff like flour, wheat, rice, and grain, just the basic shit to keep a human being alive. Trump cut all that out. You can guarantee by doing that, you're killing people. Guaranteed. They're already near death before your supplies get there. Your supplies are just barely sustaining them. So when you cut it off, people are dying immediately. And then, of course, it was stuff like Peace Corps folks and folks going over there to provide medical assistance, kids born with cleft lips and shit like that. We'd have doctors go over there, Doctors Without Borders type stuff. All of that's been cut. All of that's been cut. So you can assume the number of people dying is going to be way up. HIV, medicines and stuff like we cut all of that out. I don't see how the American public, the American citizens have benefited at all by doing something that sinister. And what's crazy is the MAGA side of the aisle, as opposed to the liberals. That's the side of the aisle that talks about how Christian they are. Hey, these folks believe this is what Jesus would do. I don't get it. These are the same folks who would probably do the Last Supper and make the people pay for the bread. I'm not giving you free shit. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you want some of this bread. That's what I'm looking at. This looks terrible. This looks terrible. So yeah, the number of deaths for cutting USAID to me is evil. It's evil. Just, I see some poor people, it's like literally going up to a homeless guy and asking him if you got change for 100. Just treating them like shit. So yeah, they're killing people. I guarantee, and somebody in the comments said spent it on the ballroom. This is Cruella de Vil type shit in my opinion. Anyway, tap the screen, get the likes on up. I don't understand why we done something like that. At the same time, it's going to be America first. We're going to stop taking care of other nations and getting involved in world affairs. So we're going to stop all these programs, but then we're going to threaten Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, Greenland. It just don't make any sense. I don't know how to make sense of it. In the comments, always good when a non-Christian defines being Christian. Look, I'm not Spanish, but I know a little bit about their community. I'm assuming you're not black, but you know a little bit about the African American community. Do I have to be Christian? How many Christians comment on what Muslims and Arabs do all the damn time? You're going to say because I'm non-Christian, it's wrong for me to define things about Christianity? I used to be pretty religious. Used to Bible school every Sunday, church every Sunday, Bible school every summer. I was Christian. I never got taught this shit to say fuck the poor. This is new shit for me. So like I said, I don't get it. I don't get it. Jesus have the poor. Not in this case. Christianity is a pedophile cult. Yikes. 35 years in prison ain't no joke. Carmelo did this to himself. That's not what we're talking about today. Trying to throw Carmelo Anthony in there. We've had enough lives on Carmelo. Going back to the box, we'll make it happen with King Finn. Good evening, King. Does it make sense to you? You're playing checkers. Trump is playing chess. I haven't heard that in a while. Good to hear that. Good evening, King.
Well, I cannot believe that you sat here and let MAGA Reacts continue in that circle of bullshit that he was saying.
I'll let the man speak. We believe in free speech.
It is literally the worst thing I've ever heard. Are you fucking serious? You know damn well that this deal is literally just the same thing he walked over there and tore up. The concessions are literally the exact same thing. Excuse me, unless you add that $300 billion that we're going to be giving them for destructing their country and tearing up their infrastructure. My fault.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's the same thing that he tore up. To me, it's like repossessing somebody's Cadillac and leaving a Bugatti on the lawn. I think it's way better what he's gave them to what Obama did.
A Lambo.
Yeah.
He's leaving a Lambo, a Bugatti, and a Rolls Royce on the damn on the front.
He must have been hanging around. He's giving away shit like Floyd Mayweather. I think he's trying to make us go bankrupt like him.
Listen, MAGA, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Stop typing stuff. You don't need to type nothing else. You don't need to be on here talking to nobody else about politics because you don't know nothing. You literally sat here and ran yourself in a circle and real talk tried to come up and help you regain your balance and get your gyroscope back together, but you still failed. You have definitely failed the civics courses, anything talking about a law. You have no basis to be talking at all. You might want to just sew your lips together because if that's what you do in daily life, I really feel bad for the people around you. This might be why you spend so much time on TikTok talking, because the people around you think you crazy.
And real quick, I want to see in the comments, Handsome Conservative says, I'm tired of hearing you spit on Christians. How the hell did I spit on Christians? The right side of the aisle claims to be far more Christian-based than the left side of the aisle, and they're supporting all of this draconian, awful shit Trump is doing. Tell me how that's. Am I getting that wrong?
No. Are we talking about the same handsome conservative that said it's okay? He'd much rather help the baby. Is that the same conservative that we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about. I got to get him on the program because I don't know what he's talking about.
His quote-unquote Christian theories and his theology there is a little bit mixed up because Jesus wouldn't be saying that. First of all, Jesus wouldn't have said nothing about no baby in the body of a woman that he don't got, right?
I don't know. Like I said,
let's stop. Let's just stop that.
Yeah, I don't get the Christianity in it. And look, if he wants to say I'm wrong, I'll bring him up. But I don't get that one.
It ain't no Christianity in none of the stuff he's doing, and nothing he's done literally in this second administration has helped America. Nothing. There's not one damn thing that he's done to help America.
Well, I'll put my MAGA hat on and push back a little bit on that. He has helped out. He has helped out upper middle class and wealthy America significantly. When you hear them bragging about the stock market and you hear Pam Bondi talking about the Dow and all of that, The upper class is doing very well financially under Trump.
Tim, what is any of that going to matter when we are literally losing everything else? Those rich people, you know what's going to end up happening? It's going to be like the dystopian future on Elysium. Do you remember Elysium?
I didn't see it.
Where the world literally fell apart, the government fell apart, and instead of fixing the world, because we weren't able to grow crops anymore, the rich people went up to a circle in fucking space. And that's where they all lived. And left all the poor people and the low class on Earth to fend for themselves. That's what's going to end up happening.
How about this? In the comments, Jessica says what Trump is doing is actually very Christian. Says remember the She says remember the Crusades. Somebody let me know.
What about the Crusades was Christian, Jessica? What about walking around for a 200-year war was Christian? Please explain that. Where was that Christian at?
Listen, if what Trump is doing during his second term is Christian, I'll admit it's above my pay grade. Maybe there's somebody in the comments said he's playing checkers and you guys are playing chess. Maybe I don't understand Christianity. If cutting off USAID and firing a bunch of people and all that is what Jesus would do, then maybe I'm getting it wrong. But I don't see it.
He is playing with Play-Doh while the rest of the world is literally building monoliths around him. He's talking about fixing the Washington Monument. He's talking about fixing the pool. He can't even do that shit right. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. If you were doing that to be facetious, Jessica, I'm sorry. I apologize. But it kind of pisses me off when people start to act and say shit like the Crusades.
You took her to be genuine MAGA. You took her to be genuine MAGA.
All I said is, if she wasn't, then I apologize. If not, then she can answer the fucking question. Okay? That's not Christianity. It's antinomianism in its purest form. These people don't believe that they need to walk around and observe moral law. That's why you have him doing things like that, going over there. He's building gold statues. There's still a hole in the White House. The White House had bed bugs, Tim.
Well, the only reason there's a hole in the White House because the Democrats stopped the work.
No.
He would be still building that if the Democrats didn't stop him.
No, he wouldn't, because he didn't have the permits then. He still don't got them. He has a concept of a permit though, just like he did that bullshit Freedom 250 and got that whole stage from Belgium. He couldn't even do that shit right. They had to have people, and they had to make a whole ballot system to fix the damn ring. Second of all, he had to have riggers on staff just in case anything happened. And then what did God do? God said, "Hold my drink, because I'm gonna make sure that you got lightning, thunderstorm, winds, rain, whatever the hell else I feel like pushing right in your face, because you are not a God. You are not a master. You are not a king." That's Christianity. That's God. That's spiritual.
Well,
because where you believe you have the right and you have the might, God will show you what you have. Nothing.
No, I'm going to say maybe it's above my pay grade to get into the religious aspect of it, but to me, what Trump is doing is it sets so many poor people back. That's where I don't see the Christianity. You're hurting poor people and you're helping rich people.
Oh, no, don't worry, because the middle class white people who swear they MAGA, they gonna understand and feel it too when they all get dropped off the health care. Did you hear about how he took 200,000? I might be wrong with the number, but he took a whole bunch of people in this one county and said that these people, they're not alive. So he could drop them off of coverage, drop them off the voter roll.
Let me ask you, why do you think he is doing this stuff? Because I agree with you. Most Americans are not benefiting from, because you allegedly claimed, what was it, Elon Musk said we saved damn near $1 trillion with Doge and saving money with USAID. The American people are not seeing any of this money. So I'm asking, what is the purpose of doing this stuff?
To make himself rich. He never told them that they were going to get money. He said, we're going to get rich. He didn't mean us. He meant him and his buddies. That's where the disconnect comes in. These MAGA people really believe that he's doing something great. He don't give a fuck about you unless your bank account got 6 zeros. And most of them ain't got damn near 2. What are you talking about? He said he was going to bring back big coal in Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Why? For what? What
Oh.
goal would that serve? To finish.
Well, it would help out the people of West Virginia because there's not a lot of jobs in West Virginia, but they have a lot of coal.
No. What happened to those coal mines? People ended up getting black lung. There was always problems with those mines blowing up and mine shafts dropping and unaliving people all the time, right? So who is that helping? He's helping big oil.
Yeah.
That's just like Mr. Global. I know you probably done seen him on here. He's another person that works in the gas industry, been there for a year. Mr. Global said we're going to be at a 7 million barrel deficit by July.
Jeez. Well, I mean, now that we are allegedly at the end of this war, that should bring down the price of fuel soon, should it not?
No. Why would it? You're forgetting something. The UAE is no longer in OPEC, so they can sell their gas whatever the fuck they want to. What made you think that?
I'll just say this: it may be artificial or it may be not long lived, but I think if we do come to a ceasefire with Iran, like Trump is suggesting, if it does last, I think they will find a way behind the scenes to bring down the price of fuel because Trump knows that needs to happen. I actually do think you'll see the price of fuel come down.
Let me ask you something. Did Iran say they was cool with the deal? Did you hear anybody from Al Jazeera?
Why would they not? But Kingpin, when you factor in all the shit they're getting, why would they not be okay with it?
Tim, I just want to ask you, did you hear anybody from the Iranian delegation say that they had signed the deal?
Not yet.
Exactly. So what are we talking about?
I think Iran is going to enter this.
Another wolf for 2 weeks or for 2 months, like he been doing for the last year. He been wolfing every 5 seconds. Y'all got a deal. It's gonna get, we finna make all of these deals. The 90-day deal is gonna be 90 deals in 90 days, and every day there's gonna be another deal. Where's the deal, Trump?
I think Iran is going to be okay with this, and they're getting so much out of this. Why would they not? I mean, they're even protecting their proxies like Hezbollah and shit. Well, they're trying. He got to get Netanyahu to agree with that, but they're getting so much out of this. Why would they not be okay with it?
All I'm telling you is until that ink is signed on that paper and those people have agreed, it is not a done deal. MAGA reacts and come up here and Press will twist his ass in a circle all day long, but that does not take away from the fact unless the deal is signed by ink, then it has not been done. Therefore, the deal is null and void until it is signed.
Do you think it's going to be? Let me go with your speculation. Do you think it's going to be signed?
To be honest with you, I hope it does. I can't, I'm gonna do a MAGA reacts. I hope it's signed. Right?
I think they're going to sign it.
Hope and a prayer. What they say when people when the school
hold on a second.
Go in the school.
Tanaj, what did you want to? How many would that? Alexa, how many lives will be lost from the cuts of USAID?
Shit.
A recent study estimates that USAID funding cuts could result in 14 million preventable deaths by 2030, including 4.5 million children under 5. These cuts have already led to significant reductions in global health programs.
What everybody forgets about
14 million? Yes. I said about 60,000.
Sir, Tim.
Jesus.
Everybody forgets. USAID did not just take care of food. They took medicine.
Yeah.
The Ebola outbreak, the AIDS outbreaks, they're still going on. We took medicine to those people. That's what USAID. So while Trump is standing on his high horse and his stupid milk crate talking about it's a waste of money, it wasn't. We were taking.
How the hell did we say? I want to ask my beloved MAGA Saturday out. How the hell did you guys? Because look, when this happened, MAGA was happy about this. How did anybody find this to be a good thing to do?
Like, they're fucking stupid. They're stupid. They believe some fat orange orangutan that told them that they would save money by not taking these people medicine because they're stupid. The MAGA reacts of the world replied and said, yeah, let's stop taking the money. That's a waste on the economy. We shouldn't be doing that. Dummy.
Damn. Damn, 14. I didn't think it was anywhere near that much. I thought it was maybe 100,000, which still is a lot of people to die, but 14 million. That's something. Now we're approaching shit like Hitler. I mean, how many Jewish people? What did they say it was? Was 6. Hitler was like 6.
But I'm gonna tell you that is the reasoning why stupid shit. When smart people talk, dumb people should shut the fuck up. When they told him that the FEMA, USID, all of those programs that he cut would make a significant dent, not only in our country, but worldwide, he should have fucking listened. But he didn't. He's an idiot. He's a fucking dumbass.
And I see one of my viewers tonight says, pro-life my ass. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. Wow.
It's just like the whole idea of telling a woman what she can do with her body. You're not gonna help take care of the kid once the kid's here.
To me,
what happened to all of the programs? What happened to all of the programs that were supposed to help kids get free lunch, help kids get breakfast at school? But you're talking about having kids and having control over a woman's right or bodily autonomy, but you don't want to help the child when it comes. You're cutting SNAP, WIC, all of those programs, TANF, all of those programs. How is that pro-life? You are cutting Medicaid, Medicare. Do you know that every last state in America has more than 60% of the state has seniors and people who have to work and still have Medicaid? What are you talking about?
What are we looking at? What do you think this is? Just I want to get in there and just watch the world burn or something? What is the purpose? Why would a president do this stuff?
Because he's not a president. He's an opportunist.
Why would a person do this?
Because he's not a person. He's a pile of shit.
Come on, now he is a person, but I mean, no, like I don't know. This is like
he's not. You can't classify. See, a person has a soul. Trump does not have a soul.
And real quick in the comments, Draco says, "Tell Alexa to give you the name of the study." Look, let's say it ain't 14 million, it's 1 million, or let's say it's 50,000. You know this is not all. You know that 14 million number is not 100% fabricated. You do realize we're killing people. I mean, it doesn't matter what the study is. You know that is not completely false, and that everybody is alive and well after we cut USAID. You know by cutting those funds, we're killing people. The only argument is maybe it ain't 14 million, maybe it's 5, or maybe it's 500,000. You know people are dying. That's all I'm saying. You know a lot of people, you know, well up into the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are dying. That's all you need to know. You want to get the number correct? I don't know, but 14 million people is insane.
Wake the fuck up. They're literally doing shit right in your face. These TV companies, the media, they're all banding together to censor what you watch. Fucking wake up. Do you remember the end of school days where Lawrence Fishburne stood at the top of the center, at the top of the stairs and yelled, "Wake up"? Yeah. This is that moment. Wake the fuck up. Stop fucking MAGA it's a cult. If you can't tell it's a cult, Jim Jones never affected anybody.
But but what are you trying to say? MAGA don't care about innocent people losing their lives?
Where? Show me where they care. They all rallied around the Iran war. They all rallied around getting rid of SNAP. They all rallied around the so-called fraud in Minnesota. They all rallied around everything. They all rallied around ICE. They all rallied around all of this shit. Where do you say they care? They rallied around it all because they don't think it affects them.
Even if it doesn't affect me at all, I don't want to be a part of millions of people dying because you're saving me 20 cents a paycheck in tax money. I mean, send the money to Africa. It ain't hurting me that much at all.
Can I tell you something? This is the original sin. You do realize that, right? American imperialism is American colonization. And the problem is nobody seems to understand that this is a colonizer. It's a colonizer. I'm not just saying it to be pro-black. I'm saying it to tell you the truth. He is trying to colonize everywhere. Why else can you explain him not touching Cuba and taking away their energy? For what? Why else can you explain him being okay being a fucking pirate and bombing ships in the fucking sea? How else can you explain him going over and taking our sons, daughters, brothers, and sisters to a war in Iraq, in Iran, that he knew damn well he wasn't supposed to go over there and take them to? Because no other president fell for the shit except for him. And he's following an even more fucked up person.
I'll leave it at that, King Finn. I don't, like I said, this 14 million number is something I didn't expect it. That's terrible.
Scary, ain't it?
Yeah, it sounds demonic.
Hey, Tim.
It sounds demonic.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
you know, you can go get a Trump Bible and pray for him.
Fuck out of here. I gotta go. Appreciate it, King.
Have a good night.
Get the fuck out of here. In the comments, Draco responds by saying the 14 million number is indeed 100% fabricated. Many of those countries are now building the infrastructure we paid for, as a government should. Okay, let's say, for instance, they're not buying food, they're building bridges and roads. I mean, everything about it, you're still basically stopped helping people out. I mean, you're still leaving people in a very bad way. So they're not buying food, they're buying bridges and roads, infrastructure. I don't, your point, you're not making it any better with that, Draco. In the comments, the Nardy, what does it say, the Nardy boy? Somebody tell President Numbnut that curing diseases in other countries prevents those diseases from reaching us. It's a great point. That is a great point. If you start saying, you know, you're letting people die of HIV and all that kind of shit, yeah, I mean, eventually they're going to come in contact with people from westernized countries and that stuff. Yeah, that is a good point. I don't know why Trump would do something like that. It just comes across as just cruel. We are not hurting that bad in this country that you need to start with people in third world countries and making them starve, or in this guy said, in Draco's case, not have infrastructure. Like there's a ton of other waste, fraud, and abuse you could have started with, like the Tribunal Arch, the reflective pool, the ballroom. You want to start out with the kid that's hoping to get a bowl of grits? You're going to cut his funding first? It just looks cruel to me. Cruel and inhumane. That's what we voted for. MAGA are fucking stupid as fuck, says Grant Harvard rather. Wow. Because he's a rich ass spoiled bitch. Well, there's a lot of rich people that wouldn't do nothing like that. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife of Amazon fame, she's donating. I think, is it Jeff Bezos' wife or is it Bill? Both of them. I think Bill Gates' wife too. They're donating all kinds of money. They're super duper rich. Both the wife of Jeff Bezos and what's her name, Melinda Gates. Hell, even Bill Gates, when they were together still, and I think she left Bill Gates because of some of that Epstein list shit. I think Melinda Gates knows that Bill Gates was banging some kids. But whatever the case may be, both of their ex-wives are donating all kinds of money. I think Jeff Bezos' ex-wife says she intends to give it all away. And she got half of his, I don't know about half, but she got a huge chunk of his fortune when they divorced. She's indicated she expects to give most of it away. So there are plenty of rich people that do share. It's just like Elon Musk, for instance, world's first trillionaire. He ain't known for being charitable at all. You don't hear nothing he's done. I'm gonna assume a man with that kind of money has helped some people out. But you don't hear about any big charitable projects from Elon Musk at all. And he's obviously making a killing financially. It just sounds like he's keeping the money. You're not hearing Elon Musk donate, other than him giving a few MAGA voters, $1 million checks and giving Trump $350 million. But you don't hear about Elon Musk being charitable at all. Furback says he buys elections. Yeah, I've never heard about anything Elon Musk has done. Opening up a school, or you hear more money coming from folks who have far less, like Shaquille O'Neal or fucking Jordan or somebody. You hear more stuff coming from them than you do from Elon Musk. And he's hundreds of times wealthier than those dudes. More money to help people than you know. Okay, then he's keeping it all secret. He's spoiled as rich, like he doesn't know the concept. He just wants more money and more money. He doesn't know how to just donate it. How would you not know how to donate? That's a pretty easy thing to do. Like I said, you don't hear about Elon Musk being very charitable. Good night, Tim and viewers. What do you think about America sending 10,000 foreigners to Jamaica, all prisoners, and the Jamaican government hiding it? I don't know why we're treating people so bad. I just don't. I don't know why we would deport an illegal immigrant from the wealthiest nation on earth to some of the poorest places on earth. I just don't know. I mean, look, you don't have a right to just come into America illegally. I get that. But you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody that don't have shit. And you're sending them to Africa and Congo, sending them to countries they don't even speak the language. Countries that you know have no resources, no jobs, nothing for them at all. You're kind of condemning them to poverty forever. I just don't know why we're being that cruel and evil to people. Yeah, you got to secure the borders. You got to know who's here. I'm not arguing that. But this is the best you could find in some country in the middle of Africa to deport people to? How are you going to suggest that America can't take people in, but the Congo can? That doesn't make any sense. We can't afford to take people in and everybody on the taxpayers' dough, but they can afford to take you into Congo? It just, to me, some of the shit we're doing just looks cruel. And I think that's the way history will judge us, is that some of the stuff we've done is cruel. I often bring up Kilmar Abrego Garcia. What they did to that dude is just cruel. Made up phony charges on him, accusing him of beating his wife and being a human trafficker. No convictions at all. Just said it on television that this dude is all of this stuff. He's never even been charged with those crimes. And then they're so eager to deport the dude that Costa Rica stepped up and stated, we'll take him in. We know he's got a court order that he can't go back to El Salvador, even though Trump had violated that and sent him to CCOT. Fortunately, a judge got him out of El Salvador. But Trump is shopping around for deportations. Costa Rica said, we'll accept him. A Spanish-speaking country where we would know the language and have a little bit in common with the customs there. So he could be deported to Costa Rica. His attorney and counsel said, okay, we're ready for him to go to Costa Rica. But because he won't cop to all the felonies that the Trump administration fabricated, they're refusing to send him to Costa Rica. They're threatening to send him to Africa instead. They told him, if you'll plead guilty to child trafficking and domestic violence, we'll let you go to Costa Rica. But if you don't plead guilty, we're sending you to Africa. So that's what's going on right now. He's still in America trying to fight against that shit. To prevent from being embarrassed that he fought back against the Trump administration in court and won, and proved that his name is not as bad as they're slandering it. The Trump administration is punishing him by threatening to send him to Africa. Yet Costa Rica's on record saying we will take the guy. They won't send him to Costa Rica. They want him to either plead guilty or go to Africa. That's just fucking with the dude. That's just cruel. That has nothing to do with getting rid of illegal immigrants or any of that. You got a place for this dude. Just send him there. Just send him there. Just making up shit, and because this dude won't cop to it and letting the folks know what you're saying is a bunch of lies, you're mad that he fought back in court. So you're trying to punish him by deporting him to a part of the world he has no connection with, doesn't speak the language or anything, just being punitive. I don't understand the cruelty of this administration. I just do not. I just don't, and I don't think I ever will. The whole party system is a problem, though. This ain't got nothing to do with the party system. We've been a two-party system in America for hundreds of years. This is nothing to do with that. This is just straight up cruelty. You could have a 5-party system and elect somebody that is cruel. The 2-party system is not going to get rid of cruelty. This has nothing to do with that. Trump is a piece of shit. Somebody typed Trump is a piece of shit several times. Okay. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. The whole party system is I don't believe the party system is going to fix this. I just don't. Anyhow, folks, it's your boy Tim. As you guys know, I do got to step away. Follow the program if you're watching on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper. And give us a sub if you happen to be watching on YouTube. Until then, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys take care and have a good night.